And we are live. Give me 1 second. Let me just go live on IG. Let me just press the IG button. Okay. And then we are live on IG. What's up, everybody? All right, welcome to another session of the Golf Club Podcast, Wednesday Hot Topics, live show out of San Francisco on this beautiful Wednesday night. As you guys can see, we have a full panel and ladies and fellas here tonight, and we're going to have a great discussion for you guys. As always, for all of you guys that are tuning in to my live shows, thank you so much. If you see value in the content, you guys already know what to do. The best way to support the channel is smash that like and subscribe button real quick. Don't forget, this is a virtual public show. A lot of you guys always reach out to me asking me how do I jump on the podcast virtually. But for tonight, we have a full panel. We literally have no room for anybody else to jump on. So I'm excited to have this conversation with you guys. So thank you so much. But if there is an opportunity for somebody, I'll definitely let you guys know. But the link is in the description on YouTube. So if you're watching this from other platforms, definitely come over to YouTube. So let's get that live chat popping. I see you, Lovely World, on the live chat. Hey, good to see you, Lovely World. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But let's get that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think. Show some love on the live chat. If you recognize these guests, show some love on the live chat as well. But let's get that live chat popping. You know, all the ninja watchers out there. I know there's a lot of ninja watchers watching my streams without saying nothing. It's definitely come out the closet tonight and say something. Stop ninja watching, okay? But don't forget, if you do want to share your voice and opinions, drop it through a super chat. I'll be able to put it on the screen and respond to you guys. I know a lot of you guys have questions or topics that you guys want us to discuss as a panel, or maybe you want a specific guest to respond to. So drop it through a super chat, and I'll be able to respond and give you a shout out as well. And of course, if you do just want to show some love and donate to the channel, and a lot of you guys support my channel financially, thank you so much for all the financial donations. Every donation goes back to the pod to give you guys the best quality content. You guys already know I always put the work out there for you guys. So, but nevertheless, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you guys for your financial donations. I see you, BL17. Hey, good to see you in the live chat, BL17. And of course, I'm going to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Global Financial Impact. So shout out to Global Financial Impact, Savannah and her team. They are a financial services business. So if you guys need any help with tax advantage wealth strategies, college fund for your kids, to set up a fund for when they graduate, or have a fund for their plans after graduation, debt management. If you struggle with debt and you want to get out of it, they can help structure a plan for you guys. If you want to learn how to be a family bank, to teach you how to be your own bank, life insurance, living benefits, legacy planning, to make sure you add financial independence to your name, and business ownership programs. So if any of those services that you guys do need, reach out to Savannah and her team. Thank you so much, Savannah. You guys always financially, donate and support the channel with your sponsorship. So thank you so much. All their information is in the link in the description of the YouTube video. So if you're watching this from Facebook, IG, X, and Twitch, come over to YouTube and you guys be able to access that link. And shout out to Savannah as well. So thank you so much, Savannah. That's all my YouTube stuff. And don't forget, if you do want to support me directly, the best way to support me is subscribe and become a supporting member of my locals. We get exclusive content, and you'll be able to get my public link to be able to join virtually on Saturday. On Saturday, I do the exact same thing on Wednesday, but it's going to be live in my studio here in San Francisco. So I have about 7 or 8 ladies coming this Saturday night, and you can join in virtually and talk directly to the ladies. And of course, for all the fellas, for the Masculinity podcast tomorrow, and a lot of the fellas out there, you guys struggle with talking, communicating with women. Become a supporting member of my locals. I can definitely help you out with that, and be able to give you access to the guys in the masculine mind, where we can help you with your male masculinity, self-improvement, and purpose. All right, so we can become better men, better leaders, and better fathers. So thank you so much. That's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you guys always supporting the channel. Thank you so much. But we have a full panel, so I'm excited to have a great show for you guys. Can I get some podcasts? Hey, good to see you. Damien, always good to see you. Jane Spitfire, good to see you on the live chat. Prudy, I see you guys starting to come out. Getting active on the live chat. The UK economist, always watching from England. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, UK economist. You're always waking up early just to watch my podcast. So thank you so much. But shout out to the panel one more time, and all the ladies and the fellas here tonight. All right, so we have a great show planned for you guys. We have another great topic, but let me pass it to the guests real quick. If you guys don't mind, a lot of new faces here tonight. If you guys don't mind, if you want to give yourself a quick introduction for everybody out there, and then we'll go right into the discussion. So I'll start with you, Ange, if you don't mind. Just who you are, what do you do, and what is the relationship status? Go ahead, Ange. Give yourself a quick intro for everyone out there.
Okay, my name is Ange. Right now, I'm currently in nursing school, so I just finished up my first semester, so I'm going into my second semester, and currently I am single.
All right. Thank you so much, Ange. Appreciate you here for the first time. Shout out to you. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Emily. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro for everyone out there.
So my name's Emily. I'm from Toronto. I work full-time in social media, and right now it's complicated.
Okay. Complication. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Excited to have, we got to break down that complication, Emily. But thank you so much, Emily, for being part of the pod. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Lady. Lady, go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction to everybody out there.
Hi, I'm Lady. I'm from Colombia and I'm doing my master's and I'm pretty much done. So hopefully, well, at the end of this month, I'll be graduating and I'm in a relationship.
All right, shout out to you. Thank you so much, Lady. Appreciate you for jumping on the panel tonight. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Jen. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro for everyone out there.
I'm Jen, and I am single. I work in the corporate world, and I am in South Texas.
All right, thank you so much, Jen. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on. We'll keep it moving. All right, the only person in the world that's flawless. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro for everyone out there.
Hi,
I'm
I'm Flawless.
from Botswana, Africa,
boutique.
and I'm into.
Oh, I was talking to flawless.
Wait,
Sorry?
is it two of us?
I was talking to flawless. Yeah, flawless.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go again. My name is Flawless. I own a club and a boutique here in Arkansas, US, and I'm with you. Like I'm complicated, so yeah.
All right, thank you so much, flawless. And then I'll pass it to you, Latoya. Latoya, did I say that correctly? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Latoya.
Okay, thank you so much,
Hi,
Latoya.
I'm
Go ahead and give yourself a quick
Latoya.
intro.
All right, I'm Latoya from Botswana. I'm into corporate and I'm single.
All right, thank you so much, Latoya, all the way from the other part of the world. Excited to have you on. I'll pass it to you, Dasha. Good to see you. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro.
What's up? What's up? Ow! Okay, I have a baby that that is feeding on me right now, and he's got 2 teeth in. So if he happens to come on camera, I do apologize. My name is Dasha Love. I help people write books without writing and explode online in their businesses. And this is Satori here. He wants to say hi. And I am in a relationship with my dream soulmate.
All right.
Because
All
I learned how to love myself and finally was able to attract another. And this is a product of love.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dasha. Appreciate you. All right. And the baby. All right. But we'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Jane. Jane, go ahead and give yourself a quick intro for everyone out there.
Hey, I'm Jane. I'm like newly divorced and single, and like I feel like brand new at this. So I probably need advice from all of you.
All right.
I don't know if I'm going to be giving any advice.
No worries, Jane. Everything happens for a reason. So thank you so much, Jane, for appreciate you for making the time to be part of the podcast. And I'll pass it to you. I'll pass it to the fellas. Big dog barking. You're gonna represent all the fellas here tonight on the pod. Go ahead and give yourself a quick intro.
I see you done set me up tonight, Will. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, ladies, how y'all doing? My name is Big Dog Barking, and I like long walks on the beach and puppy dogs and cucumber sandwiches and a glass of wine. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, Big Dog. All right, thank you so much, Big Dog. Appreciate you. And thank you so much for jumping on, as always. And yeah, we have a great show planned for you guys. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I see our RNTY1. Hey, good to see you on the live chat. Thank you so much. And then, as always, don't forget to keep that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think, of course. And if you want to drop, if you have any questions and you want to share your voice and opinions, drop it through a super chat. I'll be able to read and respond to you guys. And of course, if you just want to donate to the channel, thank you so much. But let's go right into it. The topic we'll be discussing tonight is, do men and women have endless options in dating and relationships? So let me just play this clip real quick. I saw that, I like to talk about trending topics that's going viral online. And I saw this clip of this girl. She made this clip real quick on TikTok talking about endless options. So let me just play the clip real quick. It's about 30, 40 seconds. We get a chance to react to it, just give everybody some context on the topic. And then I'll pass it to you guys, and we'll have an opportunity to go one by one. All right. So shout out to everybody watching so far. Thank you so much. Get that live chat active. Keep it popping. And let me play the clip real quick. And let me know what you guys think as you guys are reacting to the clip as well. But let me play the clip real quick for you guys.
To choose a lot of different factors. The first one is, when we're single, we get to choose who we go out with. When we're ready to settle down, we get to choose who we're going to marry. And then when we're ready to be mothers, we get to choose who's going to be the father of our child. So those are just some contributing factors that's going to make a woman very happy to be a wife, very happy to be a mother, or make her very upset and regret being a mother if she picks a man who is a deadbeat dad, who doesn't take care of her financially, and he isn't a good leader. That is not limited. That's just responsibility.
All right. So this is the clip I saw online. There was a lot of conversation back and forth between the men and women on the comments. If you go check out the clip, and I want to pass it to the panel. So can I ask the panel real quick? Does everybody here wants a long-term, committed, healthy relationship with the man that they want? Yes. For the ladies.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe a woman, but yeah.
Okay, so maybe a woman for Flawless. Okay. So everybody on the panel that's single or complicated, you guys all want the outcome that you guys want eventually down the line is you want a good man that you have a committed, healthy, long-term relationship. Okay, good. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic because we all understand that in 2024 there is a different modern dating culture today. So there's a lot of cultural differences, especially when it comes to America, what we see when it comes to dating. So one of the things I've heard not only online but also my personal life as well, but also a lot of the women I do a live podcast in my studio. A lot of times they always talk about they have a lot of options, right? They have a lot of options. So you know what? I got 20 guys in my DM, all right? I got all the options I want. I got all the attention I want, right? So, and I see this from both the women, and then also there's some fellas out there that say that they have options as well. And there's a lot of guys out there, they said, you know what, if I got options as a man, I'm going to take advantage of my options, exercise my options, right? So, so we're living in a, we have hookup culture. We got everybody's focused on a roster. It's sometimes people say it for fun, but seriously, there's people out there that, they'll date multiple people or they'll talk to multiple people at any given time. So, so that's the discussion I want to have. My personal opinion, I do understand the landscape of the dating market, why a lot of people have a lot of options. But in my opinion, options don't matter if you're not getting the attention or commitment from the person that you want long-term, that's going to give you a healthy relationship and a strong family. So you can have all the options you want, but if those are not quality people, it doesn't matter to me. So that's why for me, in my personal opinion, I think most people don't have a lot of options because I believe most of the options people claim, I believe that people claim to have in their DMs or in life, I don't think that's quality people that would give them a healthy, committed relationship. Because if that was really the case, you'll be already beating that with that person already. Yeah, you wouldn't be online saying I still have all these options. So I'm a big believer in quality, not quantity. If you want to be quality, you have to be. If you want to attract quality, you have to become quality as well. But that's just my perspective. I would love to hear what you guys have to say because there are men and women out there saying that I got all the options. I got I got a roster. I talk to so many people, and of course, ladies, I know there's a lot of guys. You guys are all attractive women. I'm sure there's guys in your DMs talking about themselves, and you haven't read their messages yet. All right, so But I want to pass it to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that men and women, do people really have endless options like that? Or like I said, or that's not really the case, because if you really had the person that you wanted as an option, you would already be with that person already, right? So that's just my standpoint. So, but I would love to hear what you guys have. What's your perspective? So I'll pass it to you guys on the panel. Let me know what you guys think, and then we'll go one by one. And after that, once we have one by one, we can open up as an open panel, and we get to respond to each other and have an open discussion. So, do men and women have endless options dating relationships? Yes or no? Give me what's your stance on it? Do people yes or no? And of course, why? Why do you have that stance? All right. So let me start with you, Emily. Emily, do men and women have endless options in dating and relationships? Yes or no? And why? Go ahead, Emily.
So I think yes, but also I think it's an illusion. So yes, you have all these options, but like you said, it's quality. So the options are there, but you have to kind of weed through to find out like who's worthy of your time. And especially with social media, I feel like there's this whole like grass is greener thing on the other side. And even though you have a great person in front of you, it's always like, oh, look at all these options online, on the dating apps, like on the social media, everything. There's just so many people. And I feel like our generation, we're trying to find the most perfect person.
All right. Thank you so much, Emily. Appreciate that. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Ange. Ange, do you think that men and women have endless options? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead, Ange. Oh, I think she froze. I'll come back to Ange. I think she's trying to fix it. I'll pass it to you, Latoya. Latoya, do you think men and women have endless options like that? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead, Latoya.
I don't really think there are options. Like, I can't basically say there are a lot of options out there. I mean, like, how many people are you going to move from one point to the next looking for that very same person that is going to be compatible with you? Really, I don't run with that word. No. Yes, there's a lot of people out there, but then it's not like everybody's going to be right. There's a lot.
All right. Thank you so much. Just to let you guys know, I do hear I think I hear the video of us talking in the back. So maybe if you guys have another tab, maybe you want to mute that tab if you have the podcast on a different tab on the computer, because I can hear the echo. Just want to let you know. But thank you, Latoya. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Flawless. Do you think men and women have endless options in dating? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead, Flawless.
I feel like to a certain extent they do, but it really depends on what you attract. Like, are you giving all of your attention to all these random hopeless people in your DMs, or is it somebody you know from school? Like, it's different levels to it. So it's kind of what you want. Like, if you're seeking attention, social media attention, then maybe that's the thing for you. If you just want true love, maybe you find a different approach than thirsty DMs.
All right. Thank you so much, Flawless. Appreciate that. I'll pass it to you, Jen. Jen, go ahead. What do you think? Do you think men and women really have options like that? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead, Jen.
I'm not sure the age range here, but I'm 53. And so it is, I don't really have a lot of options. But I also don't have the dating culture that the younger generation has now. I grew up in the 90s, and we didn't have, or I was like in the dating scene in the 90s, and we didn't have what's available today. I mean, M talked about social media. I've heard talks about DMs and stuff like that. Ours was more of a interpersonal relationship, like we were face to face with people. People are now spending their days like this. And so it's constantly being fed to you that there's somebody else out there. I'm not sure. It may have been Flawless or maybe Latoya that said the grass is greener. Like, people think that because you're constantly being fed information. And it's not always the case. And people are very much into, in my age bracket, in my group, the men, and I'm not slighting men, but they all think they're in their 20s and they're virile and they are just like they were in their, you're not. And they want women who look like the women did when they were in their 20s. And it's an unreasonable expectation in my world today. I was married for 18 years. I divorced, and I reunited with somebody that I had gone to high school with, and he was my best friend, and he passed away 6 years ago. And he was literally like the perfect man for me, just the perfect man. And so I've experienced true love. I've experienced unconditional love. And so I'm out there now, not trying to compare somebody to him, but find somebody who has that depth, somebody who has that integrity, because what people keep looking at is this part of us instead of looking at what's inside of us. Because at any moment, and I have a TikTok about it, that I'm talking to somebody, and at any given moment, your external package can be destroyed. You can be in a wreck, you can be in a fire, you can have cancer, all these things can happen, but who you are at your core is truly who you are, no matter what happens to this part of you. And it's so hard to find that depth in people. So my options in my age group are very limited, because I'm running into a lot of people who are shallow, that are deceptive. Their expectations are unrealistic. It's very difficult for me. I've probably gone on 15 dates in 3 years, and I've caught every single one of them being deceptive. They're married, they have this over here. There's just like all these things, and it's the audacity that is just off the charts. I don't know how, as a person, you can play with people. And the internet, and I'm so sorry for the younger generation, the internet has made it so much easier for people to play with people and to play with their emotions and not have any accountability. They can just ghost you, oops, bye, and there's nothing. And we're people, we have hearts, we have souls, well, most of us. But I really am limited on the options that I have available to me.
No.
Especially in my area. It's very difficult.
Okay.
I don't know. Right. I'm sorry for rambling, but I wish you guys could have dated in the 90s, because it was like freaking amazing. You go to clubs and there's no phones, and people are engaged, and there's conversation, and there's depth, and there's passion. It's not fake. The internet is a great thing, but it has clogged our minds and what we think about ourselves and what people hide behind.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jen. I do agree. In the 90s, the music was a lot better in the 90s. I'm a 90s baby, so the music was definitely a lot better.
The music was awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Jen. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Dasha. Dasha, what do you think? Do you think men and women have endless options in dating, and why? Go ahead, Dasha.
So I used to have this obsession to want to be in love. Who here had that obsession, or maybe has it now? Like, to really want to be in love. Like, raise your hand. And then like I tried looking for it everywhere, just to realize that you can't find it because it was never lost. Because love is not something that you look for. It's something that you become yourself. And you create a clear vision for that partner. And then that partner is magnetized to you, no matter how old you are, no matter what you look like. So it's like I was looking for love in all the wrong places and all the dating apps, right? For all these years with this obsession, like, he's probably gonna be just like me because I'm wild and I travel and I'm a fire. How many people here think that, like, you want somebody like you? But in reality, you don't. You want somebody that complements you. So if you're a fire, you actually want a water. Like a yin and a yang, but like that's not something that you know growing up. How many of us like have wanted like this, and we thought that we wanted somebody just like us, and we're trying and trying and trying, and then there's just too much fire. Because you can't have two fires, then you just have like both of you are putting flames into the fire, right? So it's like I learned how to love myself through writing, through psychedelics, through really being alone and like looking at every like part of myself, and then created that clear vision for that partnership to be able to magnetize it, to literally manifest it from thin air. So it's a relationship is not somewhere outside ourselves. It's a creation of becoming that person that we love to spend time with ourselves, and then being clear about everything that we truly value. Because values are top priority. It's not about the check boxes of how much money he be making, right? It's not about that. It's about how somebody will make you feel, to feel really alive and to be seen, right? And to be appreciated and to have great conversation and to laugh together and be like two little kids. So when the values began to change and I had a clear vision is when I magnetized my soulmate, because I became my soulmate and then he appeared. So that's my 2.5 cents about relationships.
All right, no worries. And just for the question, do you think yes or no? Do you believe that men and women have endless options today when it comes to dating and relationships? Do you believe yes, they have endless options, or do you believe no, they don't really have a lot of options like that?
I believe there's a lot of options, but they should stop looking. Because if you're looking, you'll never find it, because it's not somewhere out there. If you create it, then you'll magnetize it, and it will be magnetized wherever you are, not in a specific app or a bar or a specific event. It's gonna randomly happen because you become it.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Dasha. I'll pass it to you, Jane. Jane, what do you think? Do you believe that men and women have endless options in dating? Yes or no, and why?
I think the fact that you have options means that you actually don't have options. Because, like, what are options? You keep on, like, looking and looking. I feel like we're, like, sometimes I feel like we're, like, in the bargain basement bin, like, looking for bags on sale. And you're like, oh, this one. And you're like, oh, no, there's a stain here. Like, what are we doing here? And I sort of agree with Dasha. Like, you do have to like find love within yourself, and you have to do the shadow work, and you have to do all that stuff. And like, I am at that stage where I'm just like, yes, I'm ready. Universe, I'm ready. Send me my man. And like, I'm putting myself out there. I'm talking to people. But first of all, you have to put so much energy into talking to these people. I'm like, I'm busy. I have a company to run. I have a kid. I'm newly divorced. So even though you may have options, what does that mean? It just means like energy leaking out of you like all the time. So I wish honestly I could just like I'm not really interested in like finding a matchmaker or like being on an app that much. But I don't really see any other choice. Like, I mean, Dasha, like, I sort of agree with you that you have to attract, you have to magnetize. But then, like, am I being passive about it? Like, do I want to be out there? And honestly, like, I want to be seen too. I want to be out. I want to like go out, have fun, be with my girls, get hit on. Like, who doesn't? It's flattering, right? But options are just like, the fact that you have options just means that it's not real, right? Like, it's just like, oh yeah, you can talk to this person, that person, and the other. It's just like endless energy just leaking out of you. And I mean, Ange just said she doesn't believe in love. I'm sorry, Ange. I'm sorry to love your spot, but she just said she doesn't believe in love. I can understand why she does not believe in love, because it feels like there are too many options, too many things out there, too many things to consider. And you're like, well, shit, if I'm going to spend energy, I want to spend that energy on myself, because at least I can count on me, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I am. I'll tell you something really funny. Like, there was like this child who hit me up on like one of the dating apps. He was like, and I call him a child because I'm 44. This child was like under 30, and I was just like, you're cute. And he kept on trying to like meet up, and I was like, why do you want to meet up with me? So I was like, you know what, before we meet up, I need to like make sure that you are who you say you are. So like, let's just do like a little FaceTime. So I'm like, oh, I'm calling you right now because this is like when I have time, TikTok. I gotta like put my kid to bed and all that stuff. So he doesn't pick up. And then literally 5 minutes later, guess who calls me back? His girlfriend. And she's like, why are you, who are you calling my man? I was just like, hold up, I'm not even mad at you. This situation is so funny. This is like literally the third person I've ever talked to post-divorce. And I'm getting like hit up with some girl with some messy third party situation. So I don't know. It's hard to weed through all of that.
All right, no worries, Jane. Thank you so much. All right, okay, and I'll pass it to Lady. I think that's the last one of the ladies, and then we'll pass it to you, Big Dog Barking. But I see you guys on live chat. Gas Mask, hey, good to see you. Gas Mask, the real podcast. Good to see you, Conrad, on the live chat. Keep that live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think on the live chat. I appreciate you guys, and if you're all the ninja watchers out there, come out tonight. It's time to come out. I know a lot of you guys will be ninja watching, so definitely come out tonight. So I'll pass it to you, Lady. Lady, what do you think? I know you're in a relationship. But what do you think? Do men and women have endless options like that? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead, Lady.
Okay, just so you know, Ange hasn't speak yet.
Oh,
But okay, in my single life, I will say that men and women do have endless options in dating. And as Jen was telling the story, same thing happened to me back in when I was talking to someone. The girl actually texted me on Instagram, and she was like, "Oh, that's my boyfriend. We've been together for 6 months. Here are the pictures. Here's the proof." And then I was like, "Yo, like I haven't even seen the guy in person, but thank you for letting me know." And so, I mean, options are not, like you said, Jen, options are not real. Like if those are options, you're using them for pretty much entertainment, just to entertain yourselves for a little bit. And that goes both ways. Like men are using women for entertainment or like having those options, and women do the same thing. Sometimes we're bored, and yeah, and then we need attention, and we're like, okay, yeah, what's up? So yeah.
All right, hey, Lady, keeping it real. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, there's a lot of bored men and women out there. They're gonna use you, if you're that option. All right, stay safe out there, men and women. I'll pass it to you, Ange. Ange, I'll pass it to you. I know you have some connection issues, but what do you think? Do men and women have endless options in dating? Yes or no, and why? Go ahead.
Sorry for the connection issues, but I think that I don't know. I don't think we really have endless options. We can say we have endless options because of social media. I really think social media portrays like we think we have options, but personally, I don't think I have options because each time you get into a relationship and it ends, it's like you have less and less, you have more or less to offer to them because you already know how it plays out. So I don't know, it's how it plays out. Like basically, I was raised on nothing lasts forever. So I was raised on everything comes to an end eventually. So we can have all these endless options, but are you really getting what you want out of it? If that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't think we have all these options. I think social media, like how Jen said, how she said social media really has played a big part within our dating society today because it's just you have all these girls with ass and titties out, all these scrolling eyes, all wandering eyes everywhere, and they think, oh, I can get that girl. Well, I don't know. It's just, but we are who we attract. So I think it's just, I don't know. I just don't think we really have that many options.
All right. So, okay. Thank you so much, Ange. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, UK Economist. I just saw your super chat. I'll definitely come back to you and read that super chat and we'll respond to it as a panel. UK Economist, thank you so much. Let me just pass it to Big Dog. Big Dog, let's bring some testosterone back to the. But go ahead, Big Dog Barking. Thank you, ladies. But Big Dog Barking, what do you think? Do men and women have endless options like that? What they say, yes or no? Why? Go ahead, Big Dog Barking.
Women options are limited to their youth and their looks. So whichever one tap out first, that's when y'all options over with. So I would say about 55, that's when y'all ain't gonna get no more men at 55. Or you got ugly at 22 and ain't got no more men. So either one, you know what I'm saying? One or the other. Men only got options long they got money. And once that man money run out, his options run out. So that's how I feel about all that right there.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Big Dog Parking. Definitely
I
parking.
just have to say that I have money and I have options and I don't care. I mean, I'm good. I don't need options.
I wasn't
Preach.
I wasn't coming at you on some you ain't gonna get no man.
Right, because I'm cute.
Yeah,
Right.
you attractive. You was a very attractive lady. Yeah, I wasn't saying all that. I was just saying if we're going off the talking points. If we're going off talking points, then yeah, you according to talking points, you're over the hill. Me personally, I still find you attractive at 53. So it is what it is.
Some people age well.
Yeah, some people age well, yeah. So until most women stop being cute, you know, whenever they stop being cute, that's when they'll stop having options. So from what I see right here on the panel, majority y'all got options. Now, do y'all want the options y'all got? That's another question.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Big Dog Barking. But let me just read the super chat real quick and respond to it, and then we'll pass it back to the panel. I know a lot of you guys, we can respond to each other. So I'll start with the UK economist. Thank you so much. But let me just shout out to everybody real quick. Keep the live chat popping. You guys are doing a great job so far. I see a lot of people tuning in from Instagram, Twitch, X, and Facebook. Definitely come over to YouTube and you'll be able to participate in the live chat. So real quick, UK economist with the super chat real quick. All right, UK economist said, I think it depends on the type of men women are attracting. You only need that one quality man to show interest, but are you presenting yourself in a way to attract this man? All right, so let me pass to the panel. What's your response to this? I think UK economist saying is if you want a strong husband, if you want a committed man, a good man with values and standards, then you have to be able to reflect that as well. So I think a lot of times for both men and women, women will say, I want a good, strong husband, but you don't reflect the qualities of what makes a good, strong wife. And a lot of men are saying, I want a good, strong wife, but they don't reflect the qualities of being a good, strong husband. So whatever outcome that you want, you have to obviously be able to align yourself with the same qualities. Like I mentioned before in the beginning, quality attracts quality. But I think it was Ange mentioned in her statement that there's a lot of women out there showing their ass and titties, but they also want to attract a good man and a good husband with strong morals and values and loves God. Okay, but they're throwing their ass and titties online. So if you want to attract that quality man, then you have to be quality. So what's your response to it? I pass it back to the panel. What do you think? To UK economists, great question. If you want that good quality man, there's going to be a good father for your children. There's going to be a good man, provides going to take care of you and your family. He's going to be committed to you and cherish you and value you. Then you have to present yourself in a way that he can see that you're of quality as well as a woman. But if you're not doing that, then of course you're not going to attract a quality man. You're going to attract a low quality man that just want to give you likes and slide in your DMs and just use you for fun and entertainment purposes. All right. So what's your response? What's the response to that? Go ahead. Anybody can start it off real quick. What's the response to UK economists? Do you agree? Disagree? Just go.
My thing is, and I give this advice to everybody, man or woman. If a man approaches me and asks me what I'm looking for in a man, I never tell them, because as soon as I tell them, they try to emulate that. And when they try to do that, it falls apart in about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe, because you can't put up that fake person and pretend to be something that you're not. So I am not fake. I put on no false airs. I am loud. I'm obnoxious. I'm fun. I'm creative. I'm passionate. I'm loving. I'm nurturing. And you know what I find? Men who are like, and then they tell me, oh, I'm intimidated by you. What the hell? Intimidated? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, you could have any guy and then you're out with me. I'm like, okay, well, you're too insecure. I can't deal with you. because I don't look like this every day. I crawl out of bed some days and I look like some vagrant in the middle of the street who just rolled out of bed and they were drinking all night long, and I look like shit. But for you to think that it's what somebody looks like, then you're not looking for the quality of person that you're wanting. I'm not asking for somebody to be perfect. I'm not asking for somebody to look a certain way. I want somebody to have morals, integrity, be a decent human being. And there are so many things nowadays. Social media and the internet has taken away so much of that, because you can hide, you can lie. But if you're a smart person, because women are like the FBI, men, I'm telling you right now, we are better than the FBI, because I can ask probably about 5 questions and I can pull up all your history since the beginning of time. And I can run it and find out, oh, you're full of shit. You said this. This isn't really what happened. You've been divorced 4 times. You told me once. Like,
Gotcha.
if you're going to lie to me about that, are you the quality of man I want? No, not really. So, and I know women do the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it is so difficult to say you want to attract a certain quality of person, but people are so fake nowadays. They are so fake. And you have to have like your spidey senses going, and you can never let your guard down, because you never know when you're going to see that person for who they really are. Gotcha. And I don't like being in a situation where I'm constantly having to go like question everything you do, everything you say, because some of your stories aren't jiving. And it's horrible to think that way, but you know, it's just more comfortable sometimes to just sit at home by myself and know that I'm being honest with me, and I don't have to worry about like if the story is correct or not, if I'm being real or not.
Okay.
It's
All
my
right,
dog, and I'm not puking over here. It's my dog coughing.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. Thank you so much, Jen. I'll pass it to Emily. I know you raised your hand. You wanted to respond to what the UK economist said. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like, especially with my generation right now, all these girls want like the princess treatment, which I love that. Great. But I feel like on the flip side, you can't be asking for the princess treatment and be like a club rat every weekend, going out drinking, like shaking your booties on other guys' laps. Like you have to act correctly to get the princess treatment. But then on the flip side, if a guy wants like king treatment, same thing. You can't be in all these girls' DMs. You can't be doing this. Like you have to watch yourself and act accordingly to get what you want. So 100% agree with that.
Yeah, that's why I said in the chat, I don't believe in love, I believe in standards and values. That's why I base my decision making when it comes to finding a partner. Dasha, what's your response to a UK economist super chat? Go ahead.
So the biggest word that I learned this year, and I don't know if you guys know what it means, let me know if you know what it means, congruency. If you are congruent, which means you say what you say you're going to do and you do it. You are the person who you say that you are. That means that you're congruent, that you never change who you are. That means you'll attract exactly that which you are. So congruency is matching up like the inside of you with the outside of you. And that's been like the key, like the huge lesson for me to attract is being congruent with the inside and the outside, if that makes sense.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Dasha. Did anybody else want to respond to UK? Oh, go ahead, Flawless. You're in mute. You're in mute, Flawless. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I got it. So I feel like you are who you attract. Like some of the other ladies said, like you can't be doing one thing and looking for another thing. Like if you want to attract a businessman, are you a businesswoman? If you want to attract a party girl, are you a party guy? Like it just has to align. Like even I don't remember your name, but even when she had said about like that fake image, and then eventually that'll wear off and you'll see the real person. Like you can only put up that front for so long. So if you're pretending to be a businessman to get a businesswoman, eventually she'll see straight through it. So that's my response.
All right. Thank you so much, Flawless. And anybody else want to respond to what UK economist said? You guys,
Hold up. Let me try something.
go ahead, Big Dog Barking.
I think what it is that a lot of men and women don't they confuse what they want with what they need in these relationships and dating. Because you'll tell somebody what you need in a relationship, whether you're a woman needing this from a man or a man needing yada 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 from a woman, but then the one you want ain't got the things you need. So I think both men and women had this confusion of that. Yeah, I need this in my partner, but I want that because it look good, and hoping that whatever I get that look good will have everything I need to make a good relationship. I think once men and women stop doing that all together, then everybody have a clearer picture of what to do with relationships.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Big Dog Barking. Appreciate that. Can I ask? I want to ask the ladies a real, unfiltered, raw question. All right. So, can you describe to me? So, like I mentioned before, I think UK economist said, if you want if you want this man, if you want to attract this man into your life, right, then you have to present yourself in a way that you are a wifey type. Because men who are looking for wives, they're not looking for the girlfriends at the club. They're looking for women who are ready to be wives and are ready to start a family. Okay, so for the ladies on the panel, can you describe to me what is the way a woman needs to present herself or act or behave in order to attract a quality husband? Because I've had women on the panel on previous podcasts, and they said that they can do whatever they want, and they're always going to attract the husband, right? So that's I can go to the club, I can shake my ass, I can post my body online. Look, I don't have a problem with women living your life, and you're an adult, live your choices, live your life. But at the end of the day, our life is always the choices that we make, there's always going to be a benefit and a consequence. That's life, right? So if you want a specific outcome that you want, especially if you want a good, strong man that's going to be committed and love you, and then you guys going to raise a healthy relationship and going to build a great family, then you have to present yourself in a way that's going to be what he is looking for in a partner as well. But there's a lot of women out there that said that doesn't matter, right? I can just do whatever I want as a woman. So I just want to ask you, what, in your personal opinion, if you are looking for a husband as a woman, what is the way that women should go about it to behave, to present themselves in a way, especially in modern society, to attract that type of man? I want to, if you don't mind, can you just describe that to me? What is the wife energy? What is the way a wife moves, the way a wife behaves, the way that the wife acts? And I just want to hear from the women in your perspective, because there's a lot of women saying it doesn't matter. I'll always attract that man. I was like, oh, hope, and I hope for you. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you, because people who are looking for a certain outcome, they're very specific. Quality people are looking for quality people. They're not just gonna go out there and try to date everyone. People who are looking for a good thing, they're gonna be very disciplined and very selective who they choose to come into their life. So I'll start with you, Dasha. Go ahead. What is the way? What is the way women need to present themselves in order for them to attract a good quality husband?
So I have that in my life, and it's about finding purpose. If you figure out how to go towards something that you're passionate about and you have purpose, guess what? Relationships are for you to help you realize your higher self, your purpose, to come help you become that version of yourself, whatever that means for you, freedom, like whatever that means for you. So you got to have something that's driving you, that's so much bigger than you, because that's going to light you up, and that's going to make you fall in love with yourself and with life. And that's what makes guys be so attracted to you, because you become full of life, because you're passionate, going towards something that you care about. And then the guy comes in and he's like, oh my God, you're passionate. Like, I love that. Like, let me help you on that mission. Like, so we can both create a bigger difference in the world together. So like finding that passion inside yourself, that drive, that pursuit of something that's like so much bigger than you, to change lives or create a difference, is what is so attractive, I believe, in a woman. And that's what I found that's made men like chase me, because when I found my pursuit, started writing books and like started finding myself, like I became so magnetic, and that's what they wanted in wife material, somebody that's like gonna take care of herself, independent, strong, powerful. Because in reality, a man, if it makes you feel good, you can make a shit ton of money yourself, because he'll elevate you. You know what I mean? So it's not men, women make money. It's like together. Like if he's gonna make me feel amazing because I'm already lit up, I'll bring home the bacon. Like it doesn't matter who does what. So it's about passion and pursuit of something that's so much bigger than you. Some call it God, higher self, spirit, to like literally allow for it to pull you toward your purpose, your ultimate best self. That's what I would say would make mama material.
Okay. All right, Dasha, thank you so much. And does anybody want to add on? Go ahead, Jen.
I think a lot of women, like you hear all this talk about masculine energy, being in their feminine, being in their masculine. I want to be in my feminine. I really, truly do. But a lot of the men that I've encountered, actually my ex-husband, he was really like okay with me doing everything and taking control of everything because nothing would have gotten done if I didn't do it. But I mean, I'm looking for somebody who will allow me to be soft. I mean, I work in a job where I am constantly making decisions, that I'm constantly having to give people directives, that I'm constantly bearing the brunt of everything and just decisions all day long. I want somebody I can come home to that is my life partner, someone who understands what I go through and I understand what they go through, and we're able to support one another, but I'm also allowed to just decompress and be. I know this is going to sound horrible, and if you're a feminist, I'm so sorry. I'm not meaning any offense. But when the bra burnings and all that other crap happened, and they wanted equal rights for women and all this other stuff, they actually damaged a lot of us in a certain way. Because, yes, it empowered us, but it also made us almost feral to a degree. And I was that way. I promise. I'm not innocent of it. But I think men are looking for a woman, for their life partner to be someone who's in their feminine so that they can be that masculine person, but they have to feel comfortable and know that you're not going to step on their toes and you're not going to assert yourself and take on their role in the relationship that you guys have worked to establish. You've got to appreciate each person's or each other's strengths and weaknesses and help build those. And I think that's when the confidence comes in and you're allowed to relax in the relationship and know that it's a place that is safe and it is a place that is supportive. And it all comes down to allowing us to just relax. I mean, Jane runs her own business. I'm not sure. Flawless has a business. And when you're constantly having the pressures of everyday life in your 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 8 to 10 job, you need to be able to just decompress and know that there's somebody else there to help you pick up that slack. Yeah. And that you don't have to take over everything at home too, because then you might as well just be single.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jen. All right. Yeah. Did anybody else want to add on to that part? You know, how do you present yourself as a woman to be able to attract that quality man and husband?
When I was when I turned 30, I was like, oh crap, I gotta get my life together. I need like a stable partner. I need this, that, and the other. And I literally decided that I was not going to be myself. And like I'm like a free spirit. I know, anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm a free spirit. I ended up with somebody.
Jane, real quick, I think your video is frozen.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's frozen right now. So I don't know if you want to fix it or maybe log out and log back in the link. Yeah, it's frozen as of right now. You're not moving. Okay. Now, if you can fix that, I'll definitely come back to you. Anybody else want to add on to the presenting yourself as a husband, as a woman?
I'll say like we said before, it's really about what you want to attract. Like if you're the type that plays that masculine role, and I'm speaking like as a woman, if you like to play that masculine role and you have these things you want to do career wise, and your husband or your significant other supports that, go for it. But if that's not you, that's not the type of woman that you like to stay at home. Maybe you're a housewife. Maybe you're tired of playing that masculine role. You just have to really find what fits you. So I really don't feel like there's no right or wrong way to answer that, because it's about like the person for real.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Flawless. Okay. And then Big Dog, anything you want to add on to that? Big Dog?
Only thing I would say is if you're a quote unquote masculine woman, don't be surprised when you get a feminine man. I mean, that's just how that's just as the yin and the yang is the in and the out. It's like if you're purely masculine as a woman, your man gonna be a little limp wristed. If that's PC, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be a good decision maker. He's not gonna be a good leader. He's not gonna be aggressive. He's not gonna be strong. He's gonna look at you like you Wonder Woman, and that's what you're gonna have to deal with. Now, on the other end, if you get a man that's too masculine, then and you stuck in your feminine, and you'll be like, why you gotta be so rough all the time? Why you gotta be so angry all the time? And all that right there. It's a lose-lose situation for women most of the time, because if they get the feminine man, they don't want the feminine man, and they want the aggressive man to lose a little aggression. So men in the lose with women anyway about which ones they want.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Big Dog Barking. Now, I just want to ask the ladies on this panel, who here considers themselves very feminine? Just raise your hands. Like you consider yourself a very feminine woman.
Oh, y'all don't rush to raise your hands now.
Just raise your hand. If you think you're very feminine, just raise your hand. Okay, no one
Can
here
you
is feminine?
expand a little bit more on like the feminine, because it can be like it's a wide range.
Well, I mean, from the man's perspective, like a feminine woman, loving, caring, very that nurturing side. I'm talking
Oh,
about
okay.
when it comes to a relationship dynamic. Like when you're in relationships, you consider yourself very feminine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not talking about like everyday
I
life.
mean, I
I'm
possess
talking about
those qualities, but I just don't feel like that's like my impression on like feminine versus masculine. So
what I'm saying is when you're in a relationship with your man, it's not something you turn off and on. You're in it naturally.
I can understand Florida. She in the South like I am. She in Arkansas.
I'm in A, yeah.
Well, what part of Arkansas?
I'm Bluff.
Yeah, she down in the South, man. She got to get a little rough around some of these dudes.
Got
Man. Got to.
Yeah. No, I just want to respond to something that Jen said, and maybe we can open up for open discussion, and then we can move on to the next subtopic. But Jen did mention that. I know, Jen, you have a business, you're doing, you have something you're working on to be successful, and we live in a generation on a society today that women are going into spaces where they can be successful, they can pursue a career, a degree, they can make money. But a lot of times, in general, I'm just speaking in general. But in general, masculine men are looking for feminine women. It's a biological thing. It's a natural thing, right? Feminine seek masculinity seeks femininity. It's that sexual polarity that we have in relationships. When you feel like you're with a man, and then men feel like, I'm with a very loving woman. But I think one of the biggest things that women find hard, especially when they are pursuing a career and making money, you oftentimes have to adopt a lot of masculine traits, because to be successful, you're competing in a workplace where it's male dominated, especially the industries that make a lot of money, which tends to be very male dominated. So if you're managing men, if you're a manager, you're a CEO, you're a business owner, you're managing men, leading men, you got to develop some kind of masculine traits to be able to be successful at what you do, right? But a lot of times that masculine energy can be a turnoff for a lot of masculine men. So it's something that, especially if you're doing that for a long time, your entire life, there's a lot of women out there that be in survival mode, because they have to be their own provider, protector for themselves, but they have to play more of that masculine role. So it's something that I would put it out there for a lot of women. Like, you have to learn to be in that feminine state, especially if you're going into a relationship, because that's one of the things I've heard from Jen. He said, it's hard for me to switch. I need a man to make me feel feminine, right? I need a man to be able to make me feel comfortable enough to make that switch to become to be more in my feminine role. But I think when I talk to men who are more masculine, they're just looking for women who are already in that role already. They're already in that state already. And if he finds you that you have a problem to switch it, it can be something that he may have to consider whether he wants to go in that relationship or not. Because women who are already in their feminine, already in their natural state, that is highly attractive for a lot of men. So I know for a lot of women, if they've gone through a lot of bad experiences with failed relationships, or if they have to work to survive to pay their own bills, or if they have to go into a career where they have to be very successful in a male-dominant space, where they have to adopt certain qualities to tend to be very masculine to succeed, that can be a very challenging thing for you to be able to find a man who may be attractive. That's what Big Dog Barking said. If you can't attract the masculine man, what a lot of women will seek the alternative route, they'll just go with the more feminine men because you're more dominant than that man. But oftentimes you won't feel that sexual polarity because he's going to be bringing the femininity, but you're seeking masculinity in your man. So what's their take on that? Because when I have conversations with guys, they're not looking for girls to turn that switch off and on. Like we're just going to, especially if we talk about guys who are looking for specific type of woman, we just all want our woman to come on already feminine, but not come to the date. Hey, you have to make me feel comfortable to be my feminine. I'm like, what? Like, I have to work to get you to be in your feminine. Why aren't you already feminine? That's the baseline. That should already be given. That should already be given in the relationship. I should already come in my masculine. You should already come in your feminine. We shouldn't have to put ourselves in a position where we have to do more to make you more feminine, make you more masculine. What do you guys think about that? Because that's something I've heard a lot of women say in the past. Do you think men have to make you feel comfortable or put in more work to make you feel safe so that way you could be more feminine? Or is that something you as a woman have to work on yourself? You know what? I got to work on my own femininity as a woman, so I can already come feminine when I'm dating and going into relationships. What do you guys think? I'll just pass it back to the panel.
I think that you're saying like work hard to gain that feminine out of us. I think it has to be protected. Like if you're not caring for my feelings and you're not catering to me and you're not listening out to me and like communicating, you're definitely gonna offset my sympathetic nervous system and put me in fight or flight, where that masculine energy is gonna come out because you're not trying to cater to me and my feelings when I'm clearly putting everything on the line. I'm trying to be feminine. I'm trying to be caring. I'm being empathetic towards you, but your masculinity is like overdriving that, where it's making me go into fight or flight, and it's making me want to be more masculine and take over, because it's like, why are you treating me like this? So I think, yes, we should automatically be in it. Like when you're first meeting someone, I think I'm automatically in my feminine self, but once you're showing your true colors and you're showing you're not really caring of my feelings and who I am as a person, that's when it can switch off.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that, Ange. Anybody else want to add on to that for that certain topic? Go ahead, lady.
Yeah, well, it depends because this society, it's kind of like shifting all the ways. Like women need to be masculine because they need to survive, because they haven't found a man that actually it's like that. Because men nowadays, they don't act like men. So I mean, if men are not acting like men, we have to do it. We have to get the job. We have to get the education. And then when all of a sudden we actually find this masculine man or someone that's gonna protect us, we're like, well, too late. I already did my work. I already did my job. Like I don't need a man anymore. Like it's kind of like that. You know what I mean?
All right. Thank you so much, lady. Appreciate that. Go ahead, Flawless.
Yeah, I agree with her. Go ahead, Flawless. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Flawless. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that I feel like, when you was talking about the switch, some of us have to be in that, because like I feel like I'm a chameleon to the person that I'm with. Like if the person that I'm with takes lead, takes control, then I'm gonna naturally become, into my feminine energy. I'm not gonna be very masculine around somebody that's already very masculine. But if that person is very feminine, then naturally I'm gonna be the more masculine individual.
Yeah. Now, just to respond real quick, before I pass it to you, Jen, I do agree with Lady, because I know there's a lot of guys out there, and then I would love to hear what Big Dog has to say. There's a lot of guys in online is saying, "Oh, modern women are too masculine," right? And I disagree, because society has changed where women have to be able to go out there and work for themselves to take care of themselves, right? So we live in a different time and generation, so we can't just expect women to stay at home and not work and die, right? They have to survive, they have to pay bills, and also for a lot of women, they want to live a good quality life, so they're gonna go out there and pursue a good high earning job to take care of themselves. I don't have a problem with that, right? And I do believe as a man, if you're coming on point as a man in your masculine, women would tend to naturally just adjust if they feel a strong man in their presence. When you come correct, when you plan, when you come with good values, when you are upfront with your woman, you take care of her, respectful, be a gentleman. Women can sense that when they come across a real masculine man, and they'll adjust for you. But my thing for just to respond to Flawless, I do agree. There's a lot of women, they have to learn how to switch. But the thing is, if you want to attract that masculine man, he has to see or sense a lot of that femininity. But a lot of times, because of the way you have to survive in today's world, oftentimes they can't see that femininity. So that's why a lot of times, if they can't see it, then how are they going to be able to approach you? All right. So and that's why, from my standpoint, is I think for a lot of women, is one of the things you have to do some work within yourself, is figure out how to be in that feminine, what's more automatic, or maybe you can shift it when you go to work, do what you have to do. But when you come back to your man in your relationship, it's an easy transition. It's an easy transition. But from what I see from a lot of guys, is oftentimes a lot of women bring work back into the relationship, right? So and that can be an issue, especially if you're dealing with a more masculine man, because there's been a lot of relationships. I don't know if you guys see relationships where there's a man and woman together, but you can tell that the woman is more dominant, more masculine than the man. I've seen those relationships happen all the time, and those ones don't tend to work out long term. Okay, so hey, Big Dog, I just wanted to get your perspective before we respond to can I get some podcast super chats. What are your thoughts about a man has to make a woman feel comfortable to be in her feminine? Do you agree with that or not?
I ain't gotta make you feel comfortable, word for damn. Because the truth of the matter is, if I'm that dude, you're gonna automatically get in your femininity. If I ain't that dude, of course you're gonna give me problems and arguments and everything like that. But due to the fact I'm from the South, I'm from Memphis, we used to that type of shit. A woman, just like I told Flawless, she from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We used to a woman being masculine. But that's all. That to us, that's flirting, because it's like, shit, I'm gonna shut your little ass up, shout. She'll respond me smiling. You ain't gonna do shit. Me and her know that type of lingo all day, every day. You ain't gonna do shit. That thing, she blowing up a nigga phone like, man, where you at? You supposed to bring that damn weed over here and all that type of shit right there. Am I lying, Flawless?
I want somebody.
No.
Shut the hell up.
I'm saying. It's like Will. I've been doing some research lately, and it all depends on really where you staying at, depending on what type of woman you're gonna deal with. Like I said, in the South, just like with Jen, she's staying in Texas. What big city you close to in Texas, Jen?
San Antonio.
Ratchet. So it depends on where you stay. If you stay in a good city like Portland or Salt Lake City or Denver, Colorado, you'll find a good man. You won't have to be so masculine. The women won't be so masculine and all that right there. But if you stay in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, Detroit, Michigan, that woman gonna come off a little harsh. And if you ain't man enough to take that little bullshit coming out her mouth, she gonna kick your ass all day long.
Yeah.
And a lot of men just became pussy over the past 10 years too. So they're part of it too.
All right. Thank you so much. Big dog barking. All right. He definitely barking tonight, y'all. I appreciate you guys in the live chat. I see Sage. Hey, good to see you, Sage. Mulo Shanzi. Good to see you. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let me read some super chats. We can respond to it. Can I get some podcasts? Damien had a question to the ladies. Can the women define femininity? What does femininity mean to you as a woman? All right. Give me just a quick answer, real quick. I'll start with you, Latoya. Latoya, what does femininity mean to you? Just feminine.
To my own perspective, femininity like is a woman who's soft, like who's like in her soft area, who's like, let's say you have a man, like you guys are talking about a masculine man. Like when you have a masculine man, you can be soft, like you're in your soft era. You don't have to be doing the tough work. For me, I'm at a point where I can't really say I'm in my femininity. No, I've dated men who always have to make me to be strong, to be tough. Like I have to do things that they are supposed to do. So I just feel like when you have somebody who's more of a man, that's when you can get that femininity out of you, where you can be soft, you can just be a woman. You get my point?
Yeah. Okay. So soft girl era. Drizzle,
Yeah.
drizzle. Okay. If you know, you know. Okay. Thank you so much, Latoya. I do appreciate that. That's actually a great description of what femininity is. I'll pass it to you, Ange. Well, what's your definition of femininity?
I really would agree on what Latoya said. Just like being your soft self, being really empathetic, nurturing, really just caring of the other person and uplifting them in ways that other people can't.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ange. I'll pass it to Emily. What's your definition of femininity?
Yeah, so far I agree with everything. But I also think a big part of it is making sure that you're showing your man that you can take care of him, like whether through its nature, like nurturing, being generous, using your intuition, like just making sure that he feels like he's taken care of.
All right. Do you believe in catering to your man, Emily?
If it's natural, but if you have to force it, then no.
Oh, okay. All right. So for you, it's natural for you to cater to your man.
Yeah, if I like them enough.
Okay. Yeah. If he's the good man that you're trying to find. Okay.
Exactly. If he brings out the caring side in me, then I will do that.
See, you supposed to already have your caring side out. Now you playing. You playing. You too cute to be playing now.
All right. Thank you so much, Emily. I'll pass it to you, lady. Lady, what's your definition of femininity?
Yeah, I agree with what everyone said. Yeah, it's you being nurturing, caring, taking care of the guy. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much, lady. Jen, what's your definition of femininity?
I agree with Latoya about being soft. And to me, that means that I'm the kind, I know it sounds crazy because people don't think it, like, I will rub your feet. I will do this. I will do these things. I mean, I will massage your back. I want to do those things. But if you don't allow me to just kind of relax and drop back and take care of that, and you take care of all the other stuff, I want a man that protects me, that I don't have to step up when shit hits the fan and I have to put on my masculine hat and say, this is bullshit. I'm not going to deal with this. You're not going to talk like this. You're not going to do this. I want somebody who steps up and says that for me. But it's hard for me. I've been single now for 6 years. I take care of myself. I do everything for myself. I have no one to rely on. I have no one to turn to take care of like what would be considered masculine things. And so when I do meet someone, I want someone who just kind of is assertive, not in an aggressive and disrespectful way, but someone who basically says, I got this. Go sit down. Go take care of this. Go do whatever. And I've got this. I mean, I take care of my yard. I do all my yard work. I actually get joy and pleasure from it. It's like therapy. But I dated a guy and for a little bit, and he would see me out there, and you know where his ass was? Sitting there drinking a beer. And that told me enough right there. Like, not even an offer to assist. So, someone who just allows you to be like the nurturing, the caring, the giver, all these things. It's a rough road to hoe, I guess.
All right. Thank you so much, Jen. I'll pass it to you, Flawless. What's your definition of femininity, Flawless?
First, I want to reply to you because a man is not going to do anything you don't allow. When you was out there in that yard, you should have stopped midway. You got it. And you should have went and sat down and drunk the beer because no way,
Well, but it's my house. It's my house. It's not. He didn't live here with me, so I mean.
Well, then he got to go.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like, okay.
Maybe he was just a little tired. That's all. Tired.
See, don't be trying to take up for him.
I don't know, brother, enough to take off for him. I'm just hearing the story.
That shouldn't even be your response.
Jen act like she'll whoop motherfucker ass though.
She might. Okay, look. So my
got a good cowboy hat and some boots too, don't it?
A little bit.
Huh?
A little bit, a few.
You're a gangster, country gangster. That's what that is right there.
I lived in New Orleans for about 5 years by myself.
And then you know voodoo.
I don't know no damn voodoo.
Never. You're a country gangster and you know voodoo. You trouble. You ain't shit. You trouble.
Flawless, go ahead.
Okay. So my answer to your question, it's like she said, the whole soft girl era thing, but then I would like to implement the expression of feelings. Like soft girls are like more sensitive, like the self-care is like overrated at times, like the nails, the hair, feminine energy to me is just a whole lot of things, but everything that everybody said and then what I just said, so that's just what I think of being soft, like just expressing your feelings more than the next. Some people are standoffish, nonchalant, hardcore for real. So
all right, thank you so much, Flawless, and I'll pass it to you, Dasha, what do you think? What's your definition of femininity?
Well, definitely what you guys said, and stepping into it has been amazing because you can allow the men to be more masculine if you just hand him the things, and you make it seem like it's his idea to do them. So like being more flowy and juicy and orgasmic and slowing down and taking care of the self and letting the men take care of the baby more, letting the men take care and do all these things that I normally would do myself, but creating the space to make him feel that he is the one that decided to do it. So like helping the men step into masculinity, like by backing off and being more flowy and just kind of handing things off, even when I know I can do it. Like even when I know I can reach something, I'm like, hey, can you please come get this for me? Hey, get the baby. Like, just like, because we need that. I mean, women need to like hand off all these things that we've taken on in this masculine society world and hand them back to the men, including taking care of a baby.
All right. Like, thank you so. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dasha. Fatty, thank you for jumping on as a guest. Appreciate you. Don't forget, if you're watching this right now, shout out to the live chat. You guys have been going hard in the live chat. Thank you so much. Don't forget, this is a public show, virtual show, so we have some room on the panel. If you do want to jump on, the link is in the description below on YouTube. So I know a lot of you guys are watching from different platforms. Definitely come over to YouTube and you guys be able to jump on as a public guest. I always like to hear from different opinions. I see Goku in the live chat. Hey, good to see you, Goku. Aladdin, Adrian, Nicole, good to see you guys on the live chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been going hard lately on the live chat. And I see a lot of you guys on other platforms, especially on IG. definitely come over to YouTube. All right, but let me just read the last part of super chats. Shout out to you guys for always donating to the channel. UK economist, he stated, "I've noticed depending on a woman's political ideology, they will attract men from that group. So conservatives attract masculine men, while lefties often attract feminine men." Agree or disagree, panel? Go ahead. What do you agree or disagree to that statement?
Agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Do you think that conservative men often are more masculine, tend to be more masculine than liberal leftist men?
They act like it on the outside, but on the inside, they like getting tied up and getting paid. So it is what it is.
Okay.
Oh my God, I love this guy. Can you
Yes, he is hilarious.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. And then one more super chat from It's Sage, $10 super chat. Shout out to you, Sage. Although some women have some legitimate reasons for being that way, they will have to adjust to get whatever outcome they desire. Nothing wrong with change. We ain't the same person over time anyway. All right. So, yeah, Sage, I think he was just responding to, he does understand that a lot of women have to be in a more masculine role, especially for society, because you got to pay for your bills, right? If you have to pay for your bills, take care of yourself, you have to go out there and sometimes adopt masculine traits to survive in the world. But if you want to attract that masculine man that's gonna allow yourself to be in your soft girl era, you have to be able to adjust yourself to become the type of woman that these masculine men, I'm talking about the masculine men with the good qualities, and they're gonna give you that long-term committed relationship. So I think there's a delusion for a lot of women online. They think that they're going to attract the masculine men without no improvement or change. All right, so there has to be some kind of improvement and change within yourself, especially if your history, if all you're attracting is feminine, liberal men, and these are not the types of men that's going to make you feel comfortable in your soft girl era, in your feminine, then you have to be able to make an adjustment to attract that masculine man. But that also which also means that you have to put in work within yourself. But I think a lot of women, especially if you're getting a lot of attention from men, they don't think they have to put in the work to get the attention they want. All right, so Damien, hey, shout out to you, Damien. Thank you for jumping on as a guest. Shout out to you. All right, but let me pass it to the guys on the panel, to the guests jumping on real quick. Before I have another topic, I want to move the conversation to.
Hold on, Will. Hey, Flaw, is that apple juice you drank under that something stronger?
That's what I thought.
Baby, this is pure apple juice. You know what it is.
I'm just trying to make sure you ain't know that did that cone whiskey over there.
Nah, if I was on that, I would have had my little shot glass so you can know what was up.
I got you.
Temperature.
I got you.
All right. Thank you so much. But let me pass it to the guests real quick. I just want to get their input because I know you guys have been watching, and then we'll move on to the next subtopic. Fatty, good to see you again. Thank you for jumping on. Anything you want to add on or respond to based on things that you watched so far?
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? No, I was just listening, right? This kind of sounded very manipulative. Like even the babies, you have to care of the babies too. God damn it, everything. Like you have to work, pay the bills, and you have to take care of the babies too. So my question, and because I'm in good faith and I want to understand, so what would you do if I have to pay the bills, do everything? Even if you are a jar of pickles that you can open, you are going to come to me and say, "Oh, baby, can you open this for me?" Like you're going out of the way.
I didn't say he was taking care of the bills. I said he elevated me enough for me to bring a shit ton of money in because I started my own business.
So can I be a stay-at-home dad and you work?
He's still working too. We both work. We both take care of the babies. But the thing is, I'm stepping into the feminine more and allowing him to do more masculine things, even if I know that I can do it too.
So you are going to make a ton of money, so
I
can take care of the baby and still work.
Everybody is doing everything, so there's no such thing as you got to do this, you got to do that.
So who's taking care of the baby if we both are working?
Both are, because we're working from home.
Taking care of so if you're making a ton of
Both
Yeah,
working at home.
you
Both working at home.
create the kind of business environment that you want. You create your dream life.
So why don't you take care of the baby then?
We both do. But it's like I'm saying, you can hand it off. You don't have to be like, I'm the woman. I'm supposed to be responsible all the time. That's the point. Just
So
have
this is
more
the last
femininity
question, right?
even when it comes to a baby.
So here's the last question. If you want to be more feminine, why don't you allow me to be more masculine instead of playing with my role of caregiver and making money? Why we not choose what we are good at and we stick with it? He's good mowing the lawn and taking the trash out. He's going to do that. I am
And
good.
taking care of a baby. Taking care of a baby doesn't mean you're not masculine.
So why did you wait?
So to be more feminine means to take like less and less things that we perceive we're supposed to be doing, including like the majority of taking care of a baby and giving more responsibility to a man.
Okay, so if you're going to go outside of your house to make a ton of money, isn't that more masculine?
Right. But I'm not going outside of my house.
Right. She
They
works.
work at home. They work from home, Fat. They both work from home.
So you're just going to make a ton of money from home, right? And I'm going to make a ton of money from home too, right?
Correct.
And we are both taking care of the baby.
Yes.
And you are. And so who is the masculine and who is the feminine?
In order for me to be more feminine, I'm stepping into more self-care roles, even if it requires him to take care more of the baby.
What does that mean, self-care roles?
That means, like, for example, like I need a couple hours off, so he's taking care of the baby.
And
That doesn't mean that I'm making him more feminine.
Yes, you are. I'm going to have a Brazilian wax. I need 4 hours. Take care of the baby.
Can I tap in? Because I was trying not to, but can I tap in? Because I don't know, like, I guess everybody has different values and principles and all that and whatnot. But you telling me if you have a baby with a girl, you're not going to care for that baby at all? You just gonna go pay the bills? And then if she decides she gonna help you pay the bills, you still not gonna help with the baby? Like, why is that so strange to you? Like, ain't it your child too?
No, it's strange because it's kind of funny. Why can't I do my job and do you do your job and we can get together? A team is somebody shoots better, somebody passes the ball better, so I play my role and you play a role. Let me give you an example. If Will, 6'7" Samoan giant dude, tries to steal my shit and he comes to our house, I'm not going to go to Dasha and says, rock, paper, scissors, you lost, go fight, Will. Because, like you said, I'm not going to do it because I know I have some things that I'm doing better than her. So my question, I'm kind of confused. Why are we complicating things that are easy?
Just say that you're more traditional. Just say that, because we're not there anymore.
I'm actually not more traditional. I'm actually willing to listen to her. I work from home. I actually could take care of a baby if I wanted to. My question is, why are you getting so much money, right, from home on a situation you probably can take care of the kid and you need breaks from it when literally every single day, man and woman.
Hell no. No, Patty.
Do you know how expensive inflation exists?
No, you need to listen right now. Because a stay-at-home mom, whether she's working a job where she gets a paycheck, she is a stay-at-home mom. It is a job to clean a house, to take care of kids, to do your damn laundry and clean your skid marks out of your fucking underwear. Okay? So let me tell you something. For you to even go off and think that you have no responsibility when you put your seed in her, boy, she don't need you there. She don't need your ass.
I just have one more question and then I'll leave it alone. Okay? It's just one more question.
No, you need to stop. I listen to you. I listen to your dribble come dropping out your mouth. Let me tell you something. When you procreate, you have a damn responsibility. And if you don't want that responsibility, then you cover your shit or you get fixed. That baby is not just hurts.
So-
It is not. You want a woman to stay at home, have a baby, not do nothing but be pregnant and clean up after your ass because you're going to make money. And when your ass dies, what? She's not supposed to be able to take care of herself?
So
And
Jen,
if she dies, you don't know how to change a damn diaper?
Yeah, what's wrong with
hold on. I think there's a projection going on right now.
It's just one question.
No. Because he came at her like he didn't have any responsibility because she was at home.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Real quick.
Why do you need a break?
I just have one more question, Will, and I concede. I promise. This is one more question I concede.
But Fatty, can I just ask? Can you clarify? Because Jen, just to be fair, that's not what Fatty's saying. Is Fatty, you mean that if the man is providing financially, right?
Yes.
That's his primary role. Then the woman, then the woman he's with, then her primary role, if that man is providing financially, should be taking care of the kids.
We should complete each other.
Okay.
It sounds, instead of she putting pieces together that are like these, she's trying to say she does this. I do the same things as you. Let's put things together that don't work. And my question is, Jen, listen to me, right? Men and women since the beginning of time were complementary, right? You get the fruits and I get the whatever animal is walking around. I go and get the fire and you go get the branches, so you can, like you said, like we work each other, right? We work together. If you want to work so hard and get a bunch of money and all that, you know what? I take your challenge. I will take care of that kid. I will clean your period stains. I will go to the kitchen and watch all the dishes. I will stay at home and take care of the baby. And you go outside for 40 years working for a person that you don't like, and you do whatever you have to do to put food on the table. Do we have a deal?
Okay, you just turned it into completely something negative to make it sound like it's horrible to work outside the home. You just said, oh, you want to go and work for somebody? No, she works for herself.
Can I chime in?
Providing.
Bing bong.
No, but I asked if she.
No,
Wait, 1 second.
You are crawfishing right now.
Jen, let's make it very positive.
Straight trolling.
No, because you said, Fatty, let me rewind it.
I have a question.
Let's make it positive.
You said, oh,
and I'm gonna jump in when I can.
I'm working and you're making money, so we both making money. But you're the one staying at home, so why do I have to help with the baby? Because you're at home all the time.
No, there's not.
I just have one question for Patty. I have one question for Patty.
Fatty and Jen, let me just get everybody involved, and I'll come back to you guys if you guys want to respond to each other to finish this.
Okay, Fatty, do you know how expensive?
But lady, before coming to you, let me get Damon in real quick because I know Damon wanted to say something, and I'll come back to you, lady. So don't forget, just remind everybody, look, we're having real unfiltered conversations. We're going to have different opinions. We're going to agree to disagree. That's fine. But I just want to make sure, like, we all have to respond. Make sure that we respond individually, not talking at the same time, so that way we can be able to hear each other. So I appreciate you guys and your opinions. This is great. This is a lot of the things that people talk about online, a lot of the things that we face when it comes to dating relationships. So let's have this conversation. I appreciate you guys as well. I'll pass it to you, Damon. I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead, Damon, and I'll pass right back to you, lady. Go ahead,
this
Damon.
is bringing it all the way back. I just wanted to know that when did, being self-sufficient, paying for your bills, going to work, buying food, cooking your food, when did that become a masculine thing? Because a lot of women say, oh, I have to be in my masculine. I have to go and do these things. I think that's just being an adult. I don't think that's neither feminine or masculine. So to say that I have to be in my masculine in order to do these things, I think is a true statement in fact, because you can do these things as a feminine woman as well. You don't have to be in your face, combative, disagreeable, which are masculine traits, because we have to assert dominance over other men in most interactions. So those are traditionally masculine. So you don't have to be these things just to be a self-sufficient person. I think that's what the confusions came about. It was like, I think a lot of people are putting all these conditions on femininity. They're like, okay, I'm feminine if I find somebody who does X, Y, and Z, but you should be feminine when you go into the grocery store. You should be feminine if you are feminine truly when you're, paying, when you paying your electric bill. Everything you should do should be feminine. There's no it's not necessary for you to be masculine, because at what point if you try to get with somebody, at what point do you turn it up? Like, okay, is it a month? Is it a week? Is it 2 months into the situation? Like, okay, I can flip my feminine switch and start doing all these feminine things that I think you might like. I think the feminine is what you do from jump, and then the person is attracted to that. So if you're walking around like, oh, I'm in my masculine, you're finding a hard time to find a masculine guy, it's because they don't. Masculine repels masculine. Men don't sit there and want to engage with women who consider themselves masculine, because we do that all the time with the men that we come into encounter with. So I think that's the difference. Is like, I don't think women should refer to themselves as masculine just because they're being adults. So I think if you switch that way of thinking, maybe it'd be easier to meet guys who are in their masculine frame, because there's certain words that are just kryptonite in the dating that are repulsive to the opposite sex in the dating market. If you say to women, if you say the word submissive, women are repulsed. If you say the word independent to a man, women are repulsed. And I'm masculine to a woman saying I'm masculine to a man is repulsive, just like a man saying I'm feminine to a woman can be repulsive. So you kind of gotta make sure that you understand what you're saying when you're putting out these terms and how society is viewing you, especially the people who are looking to like date you.
All right, appreciate that, Damien. Thank you for the great breakdown. Lady, you had a question, and I'll come back to the panel, and then go ahead, Lady.
Yeah, I mean, Dasha, I admire that you are going and doing your business, because having a baby is not cheap. It's so expensive, especially if you want to give that baby a good future. Because especially in the past, parents were like having babies, not thinking about the consequences, thinking about like, I don't know what they're gonna do in their future. But both parents need to go and work and make a good future for that baby. So I think some people don't understand that nowadays both parents have to work. Unfortunately, it is.
All right, thank you so much, Lady. Flawless, I know you wanted to tap in. When did you want to tap in? What did you want to add on?
I mean, I was just having a whole little episode with my stuff on mute, but basically, I agree if that's what, like, because I'm not totally against you, because it's people that are born and raised like that, like in their household, that's how things go for them. So I'm not completely against you. It's just like, I just felt like you were making it seem like it was a duty, like that's what we have to do, you know, and everybody is different. Some women want to be independent and still help at the house and have a man and all of that. And some women are the opposite, and some men accept that. Like, everybody's just different. I feel like me owning my own business shouldn't overshadow my significant other. Like, if we're gonna do it together, we're gonna do it together. One person shouldn't have to change diapers, make bottles, wash clothes, cook every single day. You know what I'm saying? That could be rotated if that's what that couple would like. I, for one, yeah, we're gonna be a team for sure.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Flawless. I just want to pass it to Ange. Ange, did you want to add on to give you some time?
No, well, I was just because I think it's too expensive to not work. Like both, I think both parties have to work now. So I think it's great she has her business, and I do understand where she's coming from, because it's like you do like making a baby seem like a duty. Like, like, oh hey babe, I got the baby for tonight. Go have some self care. Like, just I think it's just too expensive to have us not work, especially when you see women that don't work and stay at home and do the stay at home wife duties. What happens when the husband passed away, or if the husband gets up and leaves her? She has nothing. So as women, we have to work and have to have something for ourselves as an adult.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ange. I think I'll definitely come back to it. I want to respond to that. But Big Dog, anything you want to add on, Big Dog? Go ahead.
I told y'all Jen was a country gangster, and Flawless with the shit too. I already told y'all that. He just showed it right there. I mean, shit, it's expensive taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's just expensive taking care of yourself. Then you gotta add a wife, and then you add kids. That shit expensive. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard for one man to take care of a wife and 2 kids on the salary that most men make. Most men don't make 6 figures. Most men make $50,000-$75,000 a year. So it's kind of hard trying to take care of a whole family out $75,000 a year. So a woman have to go out there and get some money. Excuse me. So if she don't feel like she gotta go get some money, then I know for sure me and her ain't gonna work out. Cause I ain't finna bust my ass all motherfucking day, and you don't do shit. And come back, the baby was crying. The baby was crying when I was asleep too. I had to get up and go change the diaper and make the bottle. So shit.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I just
and right now that they have made the middle class is now considered a family of 4 bringing in $48,000 a year. Really?
I mean, Jen, shit, they say like I know for sure in Memphis, if you make 58,000 by yourself, you good. So
yeah.
you imagine trying to stretch 58,000 just between you and another person. Things gonna be a little rocky.
Yep.
So you guys are against Dasha, right?
I put in the comments, childcare right now. When my child, who's now 26, was a baby, it was $110 a week. That's one child. One child now I think is close to $210
or something like that.
It's something like that. It's ridiculous. One of the girls I work with, her grandson's childcare during the day is $1,400 a month. That's
all right.
a mortgage payment. That's a mortgage payment here. I don't know.
I stay at home then. I'll stay at home with the kid. Don't worry about it. I got you.
That doesn't. You staying at home does not pay. Like
no, it's $1,400. I got you. Baby.
Okay.
The thing is, like, if you understand that you are a team, then it doesn't matter who does the laundry. It doesn't matter who does the dishes. And in fact, when the guy does these things, he's a fucking keeper.
Dasha, if it doesn't matter. One second. If it doesn't matter, you do it. You said it doesn't matter who does it, right?
He steps up and he does it and makes me feel so good, so I can just keep working.
So let me ask you something, because it's funny, right? You guys were against what I said. It was unrealistic. But her saying I'm making a ton of money from home and you make a ton of money from home, like there's like literally couples out there getting a ton of money. Well, 1 second, online. My question to you, Dasha, how much money are you making actually? Because
I'm working toward $100,000 a month.
Okay, a month, right? A month.
Yeah.
A person that makes $1,200,000. Why don't you want a house husband that will clean the dishes, take care of the kid, let you pursue your dreams and whatever, do your lunch to say, baby, let me kiss you on the forehead, go to work. Why don't you want a man that actually is 100%?
But he does. He does work.
No.
We both are working, and he steps up and he does the dishes and the laundry. And when I ask him to hang out with the baby, he does it too. We're
how much
both
money does he makes the same money as you?
He makes less at the moment.
Like less, like 60,000 or 500,000.
No, less like 60,000.
Okay. So, and I'll try to be nice with you. It's very nice, right? What is the job?
What is my job title?
What kind of job is this?
I'm a coach. I help people start their own businesses and write books without writing.
And what is his job?
Right now, he's driving for Uber and he does sales.
How are you making $1 million per year and you let that man go outside of the eyes and drive a motherfucking Uber car?
Each person chooses what type of work they want to do.
Oh my God!
Okay, all right. Let me jump here. I think we're gonna get into the weeds. We're gonna get into the weeds real quick with this, and I can see where this is going. I've seen this movie before.
We have crashed.
Go ahead, Damien. You want to add on, Damien? Go ahead.
All right. Now, all I'm saying is I see the sentiment that Fatty is trying to is saying. It's just like the traditionally dynamics where the woman is the majority breadwinner and the guy stays home and does the majority of domestic things. there a lot of times women can start to lose respect for that guy, especially if the person is unmotivated or what have you. And I'm not saying that I mean, this is not on anybody specific or anything like that, but I think that dynamic historically, women just like they want to see their men out there achieving, doing stuff, even if it's not equivalent to what they want to see them out doing stuff consistently. And because at some point, a lot of women want to fall back and just like, okay, I'm going to be the primary caregiver or what have you like that. But it's just, you know, I think Will and I was on Will's panel and I said that it's just hard to think that the men aren't going to, the resentment is not going to come at some point, because the men are going to feel like the second class, or they're going to feel like, not second class. It's like, they're going to feel like the roles reversed. They're going to feel emasculated. I'll just say at some point, it's very possible that they can feel emasculated and they'll start to act out. You know, you'll ask them to do stuff and they'll be like, why I got to do it, or what you call it, or then they'll start spending money, or they're, you know, you get into stuff where they'll start drinking more. Then infidelity comes into like in those dynamics. That's why that's what I think the sentiment I think Fatty was trying to get across, but it went left. It was
no, that was not my sentiment.
Well, then that's my sentiment. That's my sentiment. Then you can speak for yourself. Then you speak for yourself. Then what's call it? My sentiment. No, let me finish it. Let me finish it. Then you can address it.
Let me ask you a question to you. If you were earning $1 million, would you let your wife work on Uber?
What's called it? I when I was earning 125,000, I'd let my wife work.
What about you, Will? If you had the million, like if you were earning $1 million per year, would you let your wife drive a Uber?
No. I'll choose a woman that wants to be able to stay home and take care of the kid. That's what she wants to do.
What about you, Big Dog? No, Big Dog is talking with his wife. Like the point is very simple.
Go ahead, Fed. What you saying now?
Like if you were earning $1 million per year, and would you let your wife drive a Uber?
You know what? Me and my wife talk about this a lot, and I always said if I had millions of dollars, would you stay at home? She said nah, because it's boring at the house. She'll have
no. There's not. But she
would I let her do it?
Yes, I'm talking about.
I tell a lot of times she ain't got to do shit if I had that money.
$1 million per year.
Yeah, she say home.
No, yeah, but would you let her go drive an Uber? Would she say okay?
Oh, shit, if she wanted to, I wouldn't stop her.
God damn it.
That man would want for nothing. And when I mean want for nothing, I mean nothing. He wouldn't need to go stray. He wouldn't need to go. There would be no need left untaken care of. But I would still want to have, even if it's a side hustle, like online, like, I don't know, something, because I have to feel a sense of purpose, not just being a wife and a mother.
Yeah.
And a domestic goddess, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, let me just phrase it. Let me use my example of my life, or the way our situation was. When I decided to have kids, my wife kept her job. She has 2 degrees. She had a job as a production manager for a fashion brand. I got a position where I got a good job that had a potential to make a lot more. And, you know, we came to the decision that, okay, what would you rather do? Would you rather us, you know, put the kids in daycare, have people that aren't family taking care of her, you know, they spend 8 hours with strangers or what have you for the most part? Or would you rather, you know, I can pay all the bills. Would you rather just sacrifice that and stay at home with the children, and then you be the primary 100% caregiver of the children? And that's the decision we made. And that wasn't a permanent decision. We didn't say, okay, you're going to give up your identity or lose who you are. We just said the best thing for the children was to have you 100% access to you as they needed. So she did not work in any form outside of the home for 10 years. The kids, of course, they went to school, they got into their school, they got older, we're in school and stuff like that. Then they started going to school, and she realized she had a big lump of time that she wasn't doing. Then we had a different discussion about, okay, I want to start doing something. You know, I want to start engaging with people. I want to start talking to people. I have all these skills that are going unused. So we talked about what could we do that would give you that fulfillment, but still not sacrifice the dynamic that's working for the children. And then she found a job with a friend of hers started a business, and she started working with it. And now the kids even more into their own stuff. And now she's flourishing at the job or what have you, and she's accomplishing stuff. I think nobody's saying that you got to lose your agency and like give up who you are, but in most cases and that of situations at work, a lot of women determine that the dynamic that work best long term is if the kid have that early access and consistent access to that their mom early on, at least for the first 5-10 years of their life. You know, so it's been, and I think that's what people are saying. It's just like, yeah, go back, have your own thing, do your own thing or what have you. Just know that there's certain things that we agreed on that I hope that you would want to live up to and maintain that, because it's been working so far. You know, nobody's saying you got to be a stay-at-home wife for the next 25 years and then try to figure out who you are. Hopefully who you are is, I want to be the best, most attentive mom possible to my kids. And then when you get to the point where you feel like they don't need you as more, you venture off into something that gives you a little more interpersonal fulfillment. That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's what Patty's saying.
But Damon, but there's a big problem in 2024. It sounds like you don't believe in gender roles for her, but you believe in gender roles for you. You see what I'm saying? You believe that your job as a man should be static and you should do this and you should do that. But her, she can flip and go from stay-at-home mom to corporate to this and that. And you are not going to blink an eye, because as long as she's happy and the relationship is good, you are not going to have a problem. Now, listen to this very carefully.
Okay.
It sounds like Dasha and Jen, because she kind of defend her, they kind of don't believe in gender roles for men. Right? Oh, you should come home and help with the kids and help with the chores and split all that, and we can. So why, if you don't believe in gender roles for men, why is that poor man working at Uber when she's getting $1 million per year?
I never said I didn't believe in gender roles, but if both parents are working, there's equal responsibility, period. That child or children is the responsibility of both parents.
Let me take care of the kids.
Yeah. Okay, but you're missing the whole point.
No, she makes $1 million. She doesn't need my money. My 60,000 are irrelevant.
Out the window and forget about that.
Let me take care of the kid, Jen.
Okay, let's just say she's.
Why are you fighting to take my kid from me? I want to take care of him. I'm going to nurse him. I'm going to rock him. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to take him to basketball practice. I'm going to say, I love you, and he's going to.
And then you know what? And then you know what? Your guy friends, your testosterone friends, are going to say, "You're a puss."
I don't care. I love my kids.
I'm not. You know, you're going to start resenting. I think that's what Damien said.
So I'm a wuss for loving my kids.
No,
and taking care of him.
I am telling you, as a man, if you are masculine, which I'm guessing you are going to end up resenting the fact that you're doing all these things that are defined, because you've almost defined them. You've defined gender roles. So you're taking on the woman's role. Okay. And so your friends are going to ask you, you got a punani? Like, is that what's going on now? Is your woman bending you over? Okay. And then you know what's going to happen? Then you're going to start getting pissy with her because you've been staying home and now your boys are calling you a vajayjay.
Okay, so let's do this, Jen. I go to work. You stay on the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. You make me sandwiches. Just like a woman. No. I didn't interrupt you. If you don't want me, listen. If you don't want my friends to call me a wuss and a pussy and whatever, I don't want your girls to be call you a tomboy and a masculine woman. So we're going to do this deal, right? I am going to go outside. I am going to work. I'm going to bring the bacon home, and you are going to make me a motherfucking sandwich. Do we have a deal?
No.
So you see what I'm talking about?
No, it's you. I didn't say. I said your friends will start saying that about you.
Yes.
Then the next thing you know, you're going to start feeling inadequate as a quote unquote man in the world.
Yes.
And then you're going to have resentment that you gave up that position to stay at home and do all these things because your friends, who usually have more influence than anybody else in this world, or even your mom, is going to say, son, or your dad, son, I didn't raise you to be no puss. Why are you staying at home?
So Jen, listen to your words. I can't stay at home and take care of my kid 100%.
I don't care.
I can't go to work and work 100% to provide for you. What do you want me to do, Jen? Seriously,
you need to be a responsible parent. You need to be a working partner in the home. The home is not just the woman's responsibility. Period.
So when you come home from work, it's not like, okay, where's my food at? You can make your own food. There's no such thing as like you do this and I do this. We both do what makes us feel good. That's what adults do.
So you are telling me that if Will pays 100% of the bills and works 12 hours per day, he has to come home and do his own dishes and cook his own food?
Okay, yes. Wait. Who made breakfast and did the dishes? Who got the children up and took care of them? Who cleaned the house? How many hours a day do you want a woman to work in that home? And then to go and bump uglies with your ass at night after she's tired as hell.
So why am I marrying you in the first place if I'm going to have to do the job for myself?
Oh no, baby boy, you would
don't make it.
This is incredible. Like, so
no,
you don't
what's incredible is your audacity is incredible.
How is the audacity to ask for a regular functional relationship?
No, because you're not listening. You're not listening. Listen. This thing here.
Don't you put your finger on my face, Jen.
No, honey. No, baby boy. Let me tell you something. When that woman gets up, and probably you don't want her to make you some damn breakfast, and then pack your lunch, and then probably kiss you on the forehead as you walk out the door while she's managing your children, and she hasn't even taken the time to go pee herself.
Oh, God.
Then she's going to work from 6 in the morning until the kids go to bed at night, and then she's got to take care of everything else. And so how many hours a day is she supposed to work? And oh, by the way, are you off on the weekends, baby boy? Because if you're wanting her to do that, then she don't get a day off.
Okay, so it's perfect. So let's flip it real quick. As Flawless, you answered that, right? Because Jen is putting her finger on my eye. I don't like that.
Okay, Fatty, what's your question?
So Flawless, let's do this, right? Imagine this. You earn the money to pay their mortgage, the bills, and all that, right? I take care of our kid. You come home, and there's dishes you have to wash, there's food you have to make, and you have to clean the toilets and all that. Would that be egregious? That you, as a sole provider, you go outside, you get the money, and you get home, and the home is not clean, there's not food on the table, and he says, you know what, baby Flawless? Go ahead and take care of the baby for me. Would that be egregious?
Now listen, I ain't saying I agree with it. That's not nothing I would agree to. Like, I'm not gonna work all day, get off, be tired, and then come wash dishes, make everybody some food, take care of the kid. I'm not doing that. Like I said before, I'm willing to balance it out, but everything is not gonna be on me. I'm not gonna allow nobody to do that to me, period.
Okay. All right. I think Fatty is froze up. Let me just take it back real quick. Thank you so much as always. Look, I appreciate the real unfiltered raw conversations. Like we mentioned before, we're gonna agree on a lot of things. We're definitely gonna disagree on a lot of things. So I do appreciate you guys. I do see a lot of new names in the live chat. Dallas 22, Twisted Pup TV. I see a lot of the Untouchables from Fatty's show coming over here tonight supporting the podcast. So thank you so much. Shout out to you guys. The Fatty supporters and Untouchables on the live chat so much. So I see Pata. Hey, good to see you, Pata. Good to see you again on the live on the live chat. Dark Relief, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. But I do appreciate you guys. Don't forget, this is a virtual pod, so you do want to jump on. The link is in the description on YouTube. Click on that link and be able to jump on. I always appreciate you guys to hear from different perspectives. And if you do want to share your voice and opinion, drop it through a super chat. I'll be able to read and respond. I do want to ask a question to the panel because I think we were talking on something that's really, really important. That's something that I do observe on that a lot of relationships struggle with. So, real quick, I want to start with the ladies real quick. Do you guys prefer masculine men? to the man that you want to be in a long-term relationship, do you prefer your men to be masculine?
Yes.
Then yes, Flawless. I know you do both, but if you're dating a man, do you prefer your man to be a masculine man? Oh, you're on mute, Flawless.
Oh, well, my answer was I said that's his energy. Of course, outside of home, you have to be masculine, especially where I'm from. So I definitely don't want a feminine man outside of home. But if you're more feminine in our personal space, that's fine. As long as you're not snapping your fingers or nothing, then we good.
Okay. All right. And Dasha, you prefer a masculine man in your relationship?
I thought that I wanted a really masculine man, but I had a wrong definition of what it meant.
Okay. What's that definition then?
So so masculinity is not a man that shows off like it's a man that knows how to step up. Like some people, like, how do I describe it? Like, we think that it's like so separate, masculinity and femininity, but it's really not. It's like this ability to be fluid and go in between, back and forth. Like what I
No,
noticed
it's
is
not. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, bro. I'm usually good at that. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. No worries. That Dasha. And then I'll pass it to the fellas real quick. Damien, do you prefer your woman to be feminine?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. And then a big dog. I don't know if you're still there, but do you prefer your woman to be feminine? I know you're married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she gotta be feminine. With a little edge to her though.
No, I want to have this discussion with the panel, right? So traditionally, men were the provider protectors, and the women were the ones who stayed home to nurture and take care of the children, right? That was more of the traditional gender role. But I think also that's why I asked you the question: do women prefer men to be masculine, and do men prefer their women to be feminine? And you guys all responded. So I think when it comes to relationships, sexual polarity is important when it comes to the bond and the attraction of that relationship. So as women, you said it yourself, you don't want to date another woman, right? You don't want to date a feminine man. You want a masculine man, right? That's something that makes you attractive to your man. And then the fellas here said it first also as well. And then also, Fatty, real quick, I know you lost your connection, but do you prefer feminine women? Do you have women to be feminine, the one you're going to be in a long-term relationship with?
She gets $1 million, she can be masculine. But the regular ones, I would rather she be feminine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the men, in general, men prefer feminine to women. In general, women prefer masculine men to. But that's what we find most attractive in a long-term relationship. So, and usually we played roles that also optimize ourselves to be in our very nature, to be in those roles. So, but I do understand you guys brought a great point. We live in a modern world where usually both the man and the wife and the woman has to work to be able to provide a living to take care of the family. But I think one of the problems where we find ourselves today is for a lot of times for women, they find themselves being the provider protector, but also the men still expect them to do all the feminine duties, even though they also contribute to the finances. And for a lot of women, usually a lot more than the men, right? And then a lot of men are saying, you know what, we're the ones going out there providing protecting, but the women also requires us to come home and do all these stuff that traditionally they used to do on their own. But for a lot of guys, they don't want to do that. So if we don't believe in gender roles, and I know a lot of guys may disagree with me, but I do believe that I don't have a problem with Dasha's husband still working, even though she makes a lot more money. And the reason why I say that is because for me is if you in order for you to be a masculine man, you have to do masculine things, right? So if you find yourself in a situation in a relationship where your woman tends to make more money than you, if you still want to keep that sexual attraction, especially with the masculine and feminine, then you have to be able to still go out there and do masculine things. That's why I'm not an advocate of men staying home and being a house husband, a housewife, right? It's because oftentimes for a lot of guys, to feel masculine, you have to be able to do masculine things. But if you don't do masculine things, you oftentimes going to find yourself in a role that the woman don't see the masculinity with you, and then she oftentimes will emasculate you because you're not in that role. So
Yes.
so that's the thing for me is we have to find what works. We have to find the things that's going to work for the relationship. And I think for a lot of guys, if your woman is going to making out of the same or more money, if you guys both have the expectation and have understanding this is what it is, and be able to explain what the roles are, but also as a man to be able to still do things that can make you more masculine. I think it can work. I think it can work, but I still believe that the traditional one with the man is providing, protecting. I think that's the best successful blueprint that we've seen through our history that worked long term. All these things that we're trying brand new, it's we're still trying to figure out if it works long term. But I want to bring it back to the panel real quick. So, uh, in order for us to find the masculine things that we find attractive, or the feminine, doesn't necessarily have to be gender roles. Be very specific, or the new dynamics where we can do both roles. Is that going to last long term? And that's my only challenge for Dasha and for the women who have similar relationship dynamics like you. You're trying it out and trying new thing, and it's working right now. But would it work long term? I don't know. I got to see more evidence on that with the relationships that are more similar to yours, Dasha. But what I do see long term in my own personal experience, but also with the statistics, the relationships that tend to last long term tend to be more gender role specific. The way the man is playing a more masculine role, the woman has a more feminine role, and they both understand each other's roles and they reciprocate each other. And there's some nuance where they can support each other, maybe feel in their roles, but primarily there's a role the man has to play and the woman has to play, where they could be in their strengths and they could be in their natural feminine and masculine, which we want both seeking long term. So I want to bring it back full circle to that conversation. If all the women on here are wanting men to be more masculine, shouldn't you let your man be more in the masculine role? But if you ask him to start doing things that traditionally women were more feminine, wouldn't that put him in a position to be more feminine, and then maybe put him in a position that maybe you lose attraction for him because he's not in that masculine role, he's more in that feminine role? And then Jen, you talked about all those things that what happens to men when they're not in that masculine role. If you're more feminine, you get that societal feedback from his friends, from society. They don't see him as a man. So those are all the consequences of what happens when we start playing in a different role. So I just want to bring that conversation back to full circle, because I do understand that's something that modern men and women today are trying to deal with, because we don't stick to a more traditional gender role no more in society. Both men and women can work. So both are helping each other. Some guys are doing more house duties. Some girls are working a little bit more and then doing house duties as well. If we both want masculine men and feminine women, how are we going to be able to navigate that? Can sharing the roles work long term, or we have to go back to that specific traditional role? The man has to work, the woman has to stay at home, and that's the only way to work. Because I do want to find a solution to that, because that's what most men are women find themselves in those situations. And Lovely, thank you so much for jumping on as a guest. I'll definitely come back to you. But I'll pass it to you, Dasha, and I'll come back to Fatty and Damien. Go ahead, Dasha.
So I didn't know that this type of dynamic existed until I found role models that I see them rocking out 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm like, wow, the women spearheaded the business, then brought in the men, and then the men took over the operations and let her shine, like teaching and like doing more of the feminine flowy roles within the business. So I'm only replicating a model that has worked for others by watching these couples who've rocked it out, and the woman was the first one to pull the relationship into that business, and then she handed over to the man, which he happily wanted to take over the operations and stuff so she can flow within the business. And that's the dream that is actualizing in front of my eyes, because I'm replicating what I have seen that had worked. I've never seen these types of scenarios before until I got the right coaches, and I'm replicating how they learned and how they created that ecosystem, which is freaking rock star.
So if you're going to give him the business, why is he not learning under you and he's driving an Uber?
He is learning. So the whole idea of when people are creating a business is to create enough wealth so the business runs itself, right? So we don't have to put in the time, so we can spend time with the family. And as it racks up, it takes time, right? So that's the whole idea, is to replicate the relationships that I've seen that have made that.
You are going to end the $1 million business to him.
No, we are both going to work inside of it. And I'm teaching him a lot of the things that I have learned. So slowly he will be able to come in as operations and play the manly role in there, while I flow and play the teaching role and showing up in social media.
So he's going to work for you.
It's not it's a unit, because our communication is so good that we are one, we are family, we're a team.
I got you.
Let me ask a question. Let me just ask a question.
Damien, don't derail from that. Don't take it from there.
No. We need to take it out. I mean, we really do. I think because I just want to ask.
Go on abstract, Damien. You're going to save her. Go ahead.
No. Wait, what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, I want to ask the ladies a question. What degree of femininity is acceptable in your man? I'll start it off. What degree of femininity is acceptable? I'm gonna tell you what degree of masculinity is acceptable with my woman. 0. That percentage of masculinity is acceptable for me in the woman that are my wife right now. What I'm gonna ask all the women on panel, what degree is acceptable? Like, can he? Because we put all these terms on things like if the person makes a meal that's feminine, that's just. You just being an adult, you just whatever. But feminine is different from like changing the diaper or whatever. I'm gonna ask Jen, and then I ask Flawless, and then Lovely. Just real quick, what degree of femininity is acceptable in your man?
First of all, you have really great teeth. I just have to tell you that. Sorry.
One has got a crooked, but it's all good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I have a question for you though. What are you defining as masculine in a female? That was my.
The term masculine is basically, to me, means like traits that associate primarily with men. I think in traits that men have to consistently convey in order to be viewed in a certain light. I think men need to be resilient. They need to be disciplined, and they need to be accountable. Those are the things that I feel like men need to have consistently. But there's also things that are just biologically, I think, are considered more masculine. Like, you got to be strong of body and things like that. So
as far as your woman, like in a female, like,
okay, like I said, most of those traits that I viewed as masculine can be disagreeable and can be off-putting to women, because there's some harshness that goes along with some of the traits that I associate with masculine. Because I'm a very straight to the point, blunt person. I don't nurture as much. Like a perfect example is my son was doing something and I was saying, you need to just do it. And my wife was like, well, she pulled it back and was like, there needs to be some emotional understanding attached to that, because I'm straightforward and like, this needs to happen and this is the way it needs to happen. I'm pretty authoritarian, but I think, but if I wouldn't want my wife to be masculine, I wouldn't want her to be disagreeable. I wouldn't want her to be in your face. I wouldn't want her to be combative. I wouldn't want her to be somebody who's constantly challenging me on every little thing,
Yeah, so I see what you're saying, Damien. I understand.
So, and transversely, we just got to come up with the terms like, what a feminine man. Like, I think it's okay if a woman is upset to go cry, go call her friend and cry in the corner until work it out. I feel like that's unacceptable for a man to do that. I think
you didn't heard what Jen said. She literally called me a pussy or whatever she called because I was taking care of my kids.
I said your friend will probably.
No, Jen, that's why I didn't want Damien to do
okay, wait. I'm answering Damien.
No. Wait.
Let's respond to Damien real quick, and then we can come back to you, Fatty. I just want to.
First, she defined a feminine man, and now she's asking, "What is feminine?" I don't know.
What part of can you please stop talking? Are you having difficulty with right now?
Say please. Say please.
No, I'm asking you what.
Jen, just stop being rude to me. I'm not being rude to you. Don't do that. I'm not being rude to nobody.
It's not your conversation.
Don't be. So
okay, so let's just we can agree or disagree, but let's just for the last part of the show, let's just make sure that we be able to respond to each other. So I appreciate you guys, whether we agree or disagree, but let's just stick to the topic. So I don't know. Jen wanted to respond from
I was
Damien.
responding to Damien.
And
Damien,
then after your response from Jen, then we'll pass it to Fatty, and then you can respond, Fatty, and then see if she wants to respond to you. But go ahead.
I don't need to say anything else to him. I mean, I was answering Damien. Damien asked Flawless and then asked Dasha. So
go ahead, just respond to Damien.
okay,
Jen.
so as far as a man being in his feminine, I think it's okay for a man to cry. I don't expect him to be in a corner sucking his thumb, rocking back and forth. But you have to be able to release emotion. That's why we have so many problems in today's society, is that men were stifled for so long. I think a lot of the gender role, and I think is it Paulo? I'm sorry, is that correct?
Palafessa.
Flawless.
Yes.
Flawless.
No.
In the chat,
my brain is like failing me.
are you talking about Palafessa or who are you talking
The
about?
moderator. My brain is failing.
Will?
Will. Sorry. Will was asking, like, how do we get back to defining the gender roles? And I said it earlier about when the bra burning took place and people were like wanting women to have equal rights and all of this stuff came into play. It screwed it for a lot of us, because there are many of us that don't want to have to take on these roles. We don't want to have to do that. I don't want to do it. I already told you I would take care of everything. But there are women that fought because they wanted equality, and then they don't want equality. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to be treated the same. So we're almost at a double-edged sword sometimes when it comes to, do you want this? Do you want that? But as far as a man being in his feminine, I think he deserves the right to be able to express his emotions, as long as it's in a healthy way. If it's not in a healthy way and it's detrimental, then we have a whole big other issue. But
Okay, I just want to clarify, and I don't want to keep it. I don't want to belabor this point. But early on, when I put it, I was the one who put it in there, like, can the women define femininity? And it seemed like most of the women had to identify what they thought femininity was. How much of that is acceptable in your man? Of what you define femininity as, how much of what you look at femininity as for a woman is it acceptable for your man? Like I said, in mine, my definition of masculinity, 0 is acceptable for me, for my wife.
Okay, no greater than 10%.
Okay, Flawless. How much femininity you want in your man?
Well, I feel like when I was asked about how I felt, feminine energy was, one of the things I mentioned was expressing your feelings. That's about it.
That's it. You just want to express all that other stuff, like, soft and, and nurturing and all this kind of stuff.
You don't have to cry, but you can definitely express yourself.
Okay. All right.
And then Dasha?
I would say 20%.
20%.
Even though my whole life I thought I wanted this freaking hard ass, like, rum kind of guy. When I ended up getting my partner now, and I see what these little feminine qualities and caring and nurturing, and like being in touch with emotions once in a while. Yeah, he can't cry, but being in touch with emotions once in a while is nice.
See, but that goes against what you said earlier. You was like saying it was like fluid. It was fluid in an exchange and stuff like that. That's not 20%.
It's like what do you define like if a man starts to give you a massage and like gets like into like a caring, like, so you feel like he's kind of nurturing you like a mom, do you define that as femininity? Because some people do.
What Damien is saying is, you said that you only 20%, right? So you prefer your man to be 80% masculine and 20% feminine, right? But the fluid means that he can reverse it to be 20% masculine and 80% feminine if he wanted to. But that will not work for you if that percentage just changes. If he was 80% feminine and 20%, which is part of the definition of fluidity, because it can change.
Yeah, would that work for you?
That's not going to work, and that's what we're saying is, yeah.
But would that work for you? The 80% feminine and 20% masculine?
If he was more feminine, then
80% feminine, 20% masculine. Would that work for you?
no, that would not work.
What if he cried? Would it, like you said, no crying?
No, I
Something
think
like-
crying is amazing for a man.
So what if I cried out?
In my relationship, like he hasn't cried, but to the outside world, people perceive that he's more feminine, but I don't perceive it that way. This
But
is
he
like the
doesn't cry,
definition
right?
of feminine and masculine is like just so broad for each person.
If he started to become more emotional, into little emotions, he could cry more and more and more and more and more.
Oh no, that would totally turn me off.
So this is the point that I want to like see this. I have to clean the dishes. I have to do the thing, take care of the baby. I have to do the feminine jobs. But as soon as the feminine benefits, which is I can be emotional, I can cry a lot, I can be
The thing
expressive.
is, why are you putting these jobs on feminine? These are just responsibilities of a household.
Because you guys were literally saying that you don't believe in gender roles, and now you're saying a man needs to be a man. That's literally what you guys are saying. Man, be masculine, be a man, don't cry. If you cry only 20% of emotion. Don't give me the 50%. You guys are opportunists. You want the best from both worlds. You want the man to do the feminine job, and when it comes to the emotionally stressing job, which is to be the rock, to not cry, to be stoic, to literally suffer in silence, you don't want a man to do that, because if you cry too much, I don't like it, and it will never work. Pick a side. You are confused. Everybody on this panel is kind of confused.
Well, the question for you: Have you ever been in a fulfilling relationship?
Absolutely not.
I rest my case.
So, have you ever been on a fulfilling relationship?
Absolutely, yes.
How many of them?
Right now, the one I'm in.
So, is the first one?
100%. I had to work on myself and learn how to love myself.
Just so I make sure, so not make it personal. How old are you?
37.
Okay, I have 4 years to go then. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let me pass it to Lovely, because I know all the women responded to Damien's question. But Lovely, can you respond to Damien's question? Was how much femininity do you accept from your man? And I know you're married. Thank you so much for jumping on, Lovely. What's your response to Damien's question?
Hey. And so I think that has to be a balance of masculine and feminine energy in both men and women. For men, feminine energy would be like him being empathetic, being able to understand and connect with others on the emotional level. Something as simple as that. For a woman in her masculine energy, that could just mean that if you're going through something, yes, you're going to feel something, but in the end, you're supposed to step out of that emotions and be able to make a decision or or come up with a solution. And so there's masculine and feminine energy in both. Yes, men should possess feminine quality, or having a feminine, having I guess express the feminine things in a man would be just simple things. It's not very in tune like with a woman. Yes, he should be empathetic. Yes, he should be emotional to a certain point to be able to be in touch with his own emotions. Yes, he should be nurturing, supportive of you, not necessarily taking care of the children. He should have intuition. He should be able to trust in his instincts and being guided by his inner wisdom. Those are feminine qualities that I would say that I would be okay with my man having. Now I don't want him taking care of the children. As I said before, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband's the sole provider. Am I expecting him to come home and do things around the house? No. Does he here and there? Yes. But it's not expected to. If you can, you can. But I'm not expecting you to go out and take on the world and come home and take on the house as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lovely. I mean, just to I do agree with Fatty, because I think that's one of the challenging things that we see on modern dating for a lot of men. So, for a lot of women, because we don't believe in gender roles no more so usually we understood the roles and the expectations of what both genders had to play, right? That men understood back in the day, he had to be the provider, protector in the household and be the breadwinner and the leader, and the woman was a more supporting, nurturing role. So the thing is, from the men's perspective, that's why I agree with Fatty. It's confusing for us because instead of just raising him and just be masculine, be a provider, protector, be a good leader, this is your role. A lot of men are not raised that way, so they're going into the dating pool where they don't know what role to play. So for a lot of you women, you prefer the man to be 10%, 20% feminine and 80% masculine. The thing is, for a lot of guys, they don't know what women are looking for specifically. So if it's for some women, it'd be 10%. So for some women, it could be 30%. For some women, it'd be 40%. So they try to play both roles. And then a lot of times, if they're too feminine, they can find a consequence where the woman loses attraction, or they, you know what, you're not a man enough for me. I'm gonna go find a real man. So that's why for me, it's better for the advantage for the men's perspective. Just from my advice, just be masculine, be masculine as a man, and then just choose a feminine woman. But if you're trying to accommodate yourself to please the women who are saying they want the 20%, 80%, they want both roles, it can be very confusing, especially for the younger men, because you're pretty much just waiting on the woman to approve you, to identify you that they consider you like a masculine man. So that's why I do agree with what Fatty is saying. So it is one of the challenging things. I mean, I just want to hear from the ladies. I mean, I know, and then also Dasha, I know you're 37. It took you a while to find that relationship, and maybe it can work for you. But the thing is, is the dynamic you have? Can most women replicate that in their own personal relationships? Is that something that they can find for a lot of women? And I think you're like a unicorn. I think you found something that works for you, and you found your man. But I think, can most women replicate that? And if that's something that we're going to push for women to try to find, which took you a long time to figure out for yourself, I don't think it's something that's going to be scalable. That, if women out there trying to figure out to find their
I don't think that you find it. The thing is, if you're trying to look for where you finished. Sorry.
You go ahead, Dasha.
Yeah, like you don't look for a relationship. You become, and you write down and you create a vision of what you want in order to have it manifest in your life. Because if you're seeking, like when you're trying to find something in your house and it's like laying right there, but you never find it, like, so you're not missing that relationship. I didn't go out looking. Like, the only reason why I magnetized this into my life is because I knew exactly what I wanted. I learned to love myself. I know what my life purpose is. I went to a purpose and I magnetized myself to myself. So he's like a man version of me, it feels like.
And is it fair for him?
Huh?
Is it fair for him to have to wait for you to find yourself for 37 years? Like, is it fair for him to get the conclusion of all the experience, trauma, crying? Like, is it fair for that man?
I think the only way we can really love another person is if we learn how to love ourselves. For some people, it takes less time. For some people, it takes more time.
You didn't answer my question. Because, like...
Rephrase it.
So, 37-year-olds, right? And in your thing, it says party girl and drugs and all that. So, you had a rocky past, right? Is it fair for that man at 37 to accept you for who you are, when you actually could literally look for him at 23, at 25, at 30, at 32, and get him in pristine condition, no trauma, less drugs, less 20 partners? Would that be fair to that man? Is that fair to that man?
I wouldn't have been able to attract him, the person that I was, with all the trauma and the anger that I had. So the reason why all the past relationships did not work, there's only one common denominator to why relationships don't work. It was me. I had to learn how to release, let go, transform the trauma to become my best self, to attract an individual who has also worked on his stuff. So that way we have now communication, and it's fluid, and like, we're a team, we're a unit. We scratch each other's backs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you don't know that you don't know until you go through a relationship and you're like, oh wait, like, I'm being re-triggered and I'm replaying my old childhood wounds, or I'm accepting abuse. Oh wait, like, I have to figure out how to heal myself in order to attract the new relationship next time around.
So
right?
you think your past doesn't matter?
What do you mean?
Do you think you should judge you by your past?
We both understand that we're coming from different worlds and we work through it, and this is why there's communication in the relationship. There's no judgment.
Yes, and that's why we get into trouble, because you don't judge the person that is in front of you, and then there's when men swindle you out of your pennies, women swindle you out of your wallets, because you didn't want to judge the person that is in front of you with 7,000 red flags, but you just want to be nice, so you don't do it. Isn't that actually the contrary? You should be extremely judgmental. What lacks on this generation is people not judging each other enough, not vetting each other enough, not looking for the red flags that says, you know what, I'm not going. I saw this before. I'm not going to commit the same mistake. When people say no judgment, does that make society better as a whole? More families, more couples being together, or it makes we become looser, more promiscuous, drinking more, doing devious behavior? What do you think? Is it better or worse for society to not be judgmental about the people that come around us?
Remember that words have meaning. So if you say, I don't focus on judgment, you're actually focusing on judgment.
Oh, I'm extremely judgmental.
Right. So if you actually want to attract the opposite of being judgmental, what is that thing? Because you attract the things that you constantly think of in your mind. So the opposite of being judgmental is being accepting. And how can you accept another? You first have to learn how to accept yourself.
But you are
all of
not
these
accepting.
different parts of yourself.
But you are not accepting because you don't accept that a man can cry, or you want 20% femininity. You're not accepting.
Oh,
of
no,
that.
no. I said if he cries, it would be awesome. I haven't seen him cry.
No, the other part, if he cried more, it wouldn't work. If he was more than 20%
If he was
feminine,
super,
it wouldn't
super
work.
feminine in his feelings all the time, totally would not work.
And that's what I wanted to get. You and Jen did the same thing. You were extremely judgmental. Remember when I was talking about the baby, kind of joking? I take care of the baby. You are a pussy, and you are this, and you are that. We need to stop to play this game. If women are going to be extremely judgmental around what a man does, what he wears, how does he emotes, these feelings, how he takes, shouldn't we be extremely judgmental of women too, instead of saying the past is the past, I'm very forgiving and all that? Like, shouldn't actually be fair advice to men to do? Be more judgmental, just like women?
Nah, you're twisting all the words around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For the sake of time, and we can agree to disagree. I just want to pass it back to the panel real quick for the last part of the pod. I do appreciate the back and forth, Dasha and Vadi. Whether we agree or disagree. I just want to ask the panel one last question before we conclude, and then I'll get everybody to just share their final thoughts and at the end of the show. But I remember there's this concept where a lot of women are saying that well, not saying all women, but most women say that men have more options, because the topic of tonight was, do men and women have endless options in dating and relationships? And women are saying that the men have more options than the women. So I just want to ask you guys the question real quick, and then we'll just conclude. Who do you think has more options? And I think sometimes women don't understand that when they talk about the men who has options, they don't realize that they're talking about the men who are the most attractive, which considered to be the top percentage of men women tend to see that they're very attractive. So I think a lot of women have this perception that all men have a roster, all men have options, and all men are exercising those options or talking to multiple women. But they don't realize that the average guy, the majority of the guys out there, just the average guy, they don't really have options like that. And there's a lot of guys out there looking for monogamy, looking for a relationship, but they have the assumption that, especially from the internet, that most guys have options like that. But the thing is, it's a little bit different from both men and women. Women, you're always going to have a lot of options out there, because there's always a guy out there that's going to be attracted to you, because of the things that we look for are just things that already exist within you, just your feminine nature. You're attractive, you're beautiful. But I think for guys to be attractive, we have to bring some kind of value, where we have to be able to provide and protect you, right? If a guy can't provide and protect you, then he's not the type of guy that most women would find useful for a long term. So I just want to pass
Lovely,
it back.
Lovely, what are you doing?
I'm bouncing the baby. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It's all good. It's all good.
All right.
Looks-
Yeah, this
Mama's in
podcast
the
is
house. Yeah.
a lot of things on this podcast. All right, so it's for tonight. But yeah, that's just the last thing. Do you think all who has more options? Do you think most men have options, or do you think it's the same, or do you think women have more options? All right, I'll start with you, Flawless. Oh, you're on mute, Flawless.
I do this every time. But anyway, I feel like to a certain extent it can be even because it really just depends on who you are and what you attract, whether you have options. Like if you're a likable person, 9 times out of 10 you have options. It depends on what you want though. Like, do you want all that type of attention? Do you block it out? Etc. But I think it's an equal balance depending on how you are.
Okay. All right. I'll pass it to you, Dasha. Do you think men have more options, women have more options, or is it the same?
I think it's the same, but the dating world sucks. It sucked when I was in it. I think that it's all about forming that incredible relationship with yourself and then attracting somebody. I think that's the key. I think dating is overrated. It's fake.
All right. Thank you, Dasha. And then pass it to you, Damien. Who has more options, men or women, or is it the same?
Yeah, I definitely think women have more option for dating. Women have more option for getting dates and that kind of stuff. But I do think men have more option for marriage.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. And then Fatty.
What Damien said makes no sense. If you have more options to date, and you have more options to get married. It's just a numbers game. It goes against math. It goes against Damien. You can.
Then I'll tell you what I meant. I'll tell you what I meant. I'll tell you what I meant. If you seem confused, let me clarify for you. Okay. All right. Like what I'm saying is like, if you're in a position where you're about to marry, say you got a woman, there's a higher chance that if you have a woman, if you propose to your woman, she's going to say yes. So that's you have more options, you have more opportunities to get married. Women, it's not guaranteed that your man is going, if you propose to your man, is he's going to say yes. That means you don't know that your man will marry you, but a lot of men know that their woman will marry them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're in a relationship, that's what I'm saying.
And that is wrong because that can literally be bypassed with one. What are we? They do it all the time. They don't have to. What are we, baby? What are we? That's the magical words. And they can say, what are we to 50 men that are actually chasing them. If by a numbers game, I couldn't get 5 women to get to date me or to actually have a relationship with me. Woman, if Dasha went outside to the bar, whatever, and she wanted to give a try to whatever, she would have unlimited options because there's men that are willing to cuff the fattest, the ugliest, the stinkiest.
If I was dating 10 women right now, if I was dating 10 women right now, and I proposed to all 10 of those women, there's a good percentage of them, if not all, will say yes to my proposal. If those 10 women asked me to marry them, or those 10 women were dating 10 men, just put it that way, and they asked all 10 to marry them, they have a less likely that the men would say, yes, I will marry you. That's what I'm talking about. That makes
again no sense, because if you have 100 boyfriends, if 10 of them ask you in marriage, it's better than 99% of men, because men don't have 10 women to say, well, going to marry me.
But 10 of them aren't asking them for marriage.
No, but you don't have to. These men are not asking this woman for marriage out of the blue. They are reading social cues. They are reading their body language. She's, oh, look at that dress over here. Like,
so you say men are only proposing to men because social society is pushing on them that they need to get married.
Women are going to in a, like passive aggressively actually put that shit in your face. They do that with babies, for example. They start to talk about their friends that have babies. They start to talk about how nice it will be to them. Like they actually do that. So Damien, just 1 second, real quick, right? It literally it's math. Let's like if you have 100, there's more probability for you to get 10 people to commit to you than if you have 10. Probably you're going to have two people that are going to commit to you. But let's just again address what Flawless and Dash said. Without respect. Come on, man. Let's
okay. Let me get to Lovely. We gotta close up.
No, I don't want to address it. I just say that he's delusion. If they go outside, they look good, both of them. If they go outside,
like I said,
if they go outside and say, "Hey, man, do you want to date me? Do you want to go on a coffee? Do you want to go?" Like most men are going to take it. Men don't work like that. So
I mean, Damien, I think are you just saying that women control access to sex and we control access to marriage?
That's
a myth.
That is not. It's not a myth. Men control who gets married.
No. Women control who gets married. You know why? Women decided that they don't want to get married anymore. Where are the marriages? Women decided they don't want to have kids anymore. Where are the kids? Women are literally the catalyst of every decision on society. If women in mass say, I want to fuck, I want to have babies, and I don't want to get married, there's nothing that you, Damien, me, or Will can do to actually change their mind and to say, you know what, I'm going to make an honest woman and I'm going to marry
you
can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can say, you have no access to my resources unless you're my wife, because I want to have children that are out of marriage because I want them to have my last name with my legacy, with my you get no protection, you get no provision if you don't marry me. Men can control that. Women are like, oh my God, I absolutely want you to protect and provide for me. So yeah, of course I'll marry you if that's what it takes for you to give me those things. So what you're saying makes no sense whatsoever.
I gotta land it with
okay,
Lovely.
Sorry.
We're gonna, and it's okay. We can agree to disagree. All right, Lovely, and then just I want to get your thoughts, and we'll conclude tonight's podcast. Lovely, who has more options, men and women, or is it the same?
I think women have more options. Whether or not they want those options is another thing, but I think that they have more options.
Okay, women have more options. All right, that's I mean, for me, it just comes down to what you want. So there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna give you attention, but it depends on what you want long term and who do you want to marry. And I think for both men and women, I think we have a conflated view of what our options are, because we live in the age of social media that people give you attention. But I appreciate you guys. At the end of the day, thank you so much. We've come to the end of the podcast. I appreciate you guys that tapped in and watched the entire show and the entire stream. Thank you so much for Damien, Fatty, Lovely, for jumping on as public guests. Dasha, Flawless, you survived the cut. This podcast is real unfiltered. We have some real conversations, and I do appreciate you guys staying on for the entire stream and having the conversation. Even if we did disagree on a lot of things, we did agree on a lot of things, but I do appreciate the open conversation to ultimately figure out a solution for those who are watching, trying to figure out their own relationships at the end of the day. So I do appreciate you guys coming on and having this and participating by watching these open conversations to ultimately figure out a lot of the things that we face and struggle with when it comes to relationships. So we talked about options. We talked about masculinity, femininity. We talked about the roles that we have to play. We talked about women being comfortable in the femininity. So we talked about a lot of things that on this podcast. I do appreciate the open conversation. So I'll pass it to you guys. What's your final thoughts for tonight's conversation? How can they find you so they can support you as well? I'll start with the ladies. Flawless, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate you. But what's your final thoughts from tonight's conversation? How can they find you, Flawless?
You can find me on Instagram at unique.flawless. And my final thoughts are really just, I'm glad everybody could get it out type of thing. Everybody had different point of views. Everybody had great point of views. And like, I still feel the way I feel. Like I said, I feel like to a certain extent it's equal. If you're just that guy or that girl, you're going to have a full inbox or a full DM. So like Lovely said, it's just whether you want to entertain it or not.
All right. Flawless. Quick question: How many guys are in DM?
I don't respond, so I definitely don't count.
All right, so thank you so much, Flawless.
That many, huh?
Thank you so much, Flawless. Pass it to you, Dasha. Dasha, thank you so much for the open conversation. And you know,
I didn't know it was gonna go this way. It's hilarious, but it was great. It was
what's
awesome.
your final thoughts and how can they find you, Dasha?
So as you can see, www.dasha.love, you can see what I do. I've published 7 books. The first one took me 7 years, and now I help people write books without writing, create businesses online, selling high ticket, creating visions, getting investments. So you can find me up on my website, dasha.love, and I'm going to have a masterclass coming up in a couple days where I teach this whole system online, and Instagram, dashalove.manifesting. And I'm glad. I appreciate perspectives, and thank you for listening. I appreciate everybody here and who you are, what you stand for, and listening attentively. This was fun.
All right, thank you so much, and shout out to the baby. He was knocked out the entire stream.
I fed him a few times. I really hope nobody got offended if my nipple was out. It's just part of the game.
We all growing here.
Some people do get offended sometimes because I just go live and it's just part of my daily norm, and some people are like,
yeah,
like, what you doing? But you know,
if you're offended, this is not the channel to watch. You know, we say a lot of things and have conversation that might offend a lot of people. So thank you so much, Dasha. Pastor Damien, thank you for jumping on. Final thought, and how can they find you? Shout out to the Can I Get Some podcast out there.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, this was a good show. It was good getting people's perspective, what have you. People want to find me, they can just go on my IG. It's Can I Get Some podcast. I do a show every Tuesday, and it'll have information on what the topic and the times are for my Tuesday show. But like I said, it's Can I Get Some podcast.
All right, thank you so much, Damien. Fatty, it was always good to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on, and also shout out to all your untouchables and people in the live chat to support you because they came over this way. As always, thank you so much for jumping on. What's your final thoughts, and how can they find you, support you?
I'm speechless. 100%. I have no idea. I'm getting to a point where, like, remember the threat. I'm speechless. I don't understand why. I'm speechless. I'm going to attend Dasha course, or no, not course. What is it? Webinar. Oh, she's muted. If it's not more than $300.
I said masterclass.
Is it more than $300?
Oh, my masterclass is free, darling.
Oh, it's free? I'm going to be there in my yoga pants. Thank you. Thank you for the both of you for not being disrespectful. I didn't like to be disrespected by the other woman. But other than that, thank you for being good sports and actually supporting the show. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Fatty. It's always good to see you, and Lovely, thank you for jumping on. Final thoughts, and how can they find you, Lovely? Good to see you again, Lovely.
Thank you. I do think that while everyone has to do what works best for them, I do believe that when things are traditional, or when you're operating in your role as it responds to nature, so the woman being feminine and operating in her role, and the man being masculine and operating in his role, I think that I've just seen it work. You have better results over time. Yes, other situations can work. Does it last is the question, I think. And so, yes, I think everyone should be operating in their roles. And as long as you're operating in your roles, things just align and it just works better. Thanks for having me. I don't want to be found on anything, so I don't have any. Yeah.
No worries, Lovely. Thank you so much for jumping on. And then Manic, thank you so much. Support great show, ladies and gents. Thank you so much, Manic. And then Misty Blue, thank you so much for the great show with the heart emoji. Shout out to you, Misty Blue. So thank you so much as always. I appreciate you guys. I saw a lot of new faces, new names on here in the live chat here for the first time. I do appreciate you guys who see value in the content. The best way to support me to smash a like, subscribe button real quick. And a lot of these, the ladies and gents on here have their own platforms. Please support them in their own endeavors and their business. And I know Damien has his own podcast. Can I get some podcasts? Please support his podcast. They'll have dope conversations on his podcast. I do appreciate you guys. We do this every single Wednesday, Hot Topic Wednesdays. So make sure you go and get notification. We go live next time. New panel and new guests. But see you guys next time, ladies, fellas. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you for doing this. Thank you for setting this up. You rock.
No, I appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Peace
out.